implement करूँगा.
Okay, let's go.
The thing that literally sunk my heart was one of the matches. I found out that Polvi forgot his keyboard back at the boot camp after reaching the arena, just as they were getting called on stage. So that entire chaos of making sure that someone could go back, get his keyboard, and ensure he had his keyboard just before the match started. Absolute chaos. Worst moment. I would never want to go through that again, and I can't believe we let that slip through the
Let's
cracks.
go भाई.
Absolutely our mistake.
Match.
We should not have let that happen.
Global esports का
absolute
देखते हैं
worst
भाई.
moment for
New
us this
team
season.
भाई, new lineup. Crazy.
Best बहुत मुश्किल है बोलना है ideally.
रॉसी क्या retire हो गया क्या?
A really good season for us. बहुत rough season था, but I think all the memories that we made with
अच्छा.
the players, coaching staff, and everyone, that was.
वही बोलूँ मैंने कहा भाई वो तो बहुत एकदम लॉक्ड इन बंदा था उस और रिटायर कैसे हो सकता है?
Right now, new jersey with your name printed on the back, especially the VCD, not this one that I'm wearing, the VCD edition, we are not currently selling those. We've kept that exclusive only to the players. But the unnamed jerseys are available. Currently, we're only shipping in India. International shipping will be coming soon.
बड़े आज.
Probably once the season starts. You'll get more details about that either on globalesports.com or gefighting.com. Yes. Already, if you go on Twitter, our coach has told Com that I'll see you in Paris. तो G और Leviathan का वहाँ मिलने का plan है. तो I'm just saying, confidence है. Now we have to win our matches and get them.
I think scrim में और tournament खेलने में बहुत difference है. Scrim में थोड़ा loosen up होते हैं, इतना nervousness नहीं होते हैं. जब stage पे होते हैं तो वो nervousness kick in होता है धीरे-धीरे.
I think it's a massive difference because a scrim you are kind of isolated. You're in your comfort zone. It's like playing in the comforts of your home. You are
स्पॉन्सर गोल वो मेरा वो है.
While when you're playing on stage,
क्या
you
बोलते
have
हैं?
hundreds of
Membership
people
वाला.
screaming and cheering. You have casters. You have that environment. The spotlight is on you. You can see your opponents in the eye. Especially every time you lose and you know you're the reason you lost, and you look up from your screen and you turn around. You see the entire environment. I think anyone who has ever been up on a stage and had to face an audience will know what that experience is like. People call it stage fright, but imagine that amplified into 100x because there's so many more action-packed moments happening. So every single round, you just turn around and you see that environment. I think that's very different from being in your boot camp or being in your house and competing. I think that's something that all our players need more experience of.
None. बिल्कुल ही फर्क नहीं पड़ता. We will do whatever it takes to win. So बाकी factors.
क्या वो क्या सुन रहा है?
I would say both are equally important because
मेरे को तो कुछ हिंदी डायलॉग आ रहे थे, पता नहीं नाटक चल रहा है जैसे.
Players need to do everything in game, and at the end of the day, again, it also works vice versa. No matter how good your players are, if you don't have a guiding light telling them exactly what needs to be done and building the structure around them,
मार दे भाई. ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स आज सबको भाई आगे कर दे.
So you need both sides of it. Coach be important है, player
सारे
be important
streamers
है.
को.
The way we would look at it, have a strong coach and a strong IGL and build around them. And then building maybe 4 young guns around the IGL and the coach.
हाँ उन्होंने डिस्कॉर्ड पे रोल दिया है.
But there's many ways. There's no right way to build a roster. I think whatever works for each team has to play to their own pros and cons, their strengths and weaknesses.
कंटेंट क्रिएशन में
गोल
वो मल्टीप्लेयर गेम को थोड़ी लेंगे जो इतनी सारी गेम्स खेलते मल्टीपल. और सिर्फ वैलो वालों में लेंगे ना.
Wait, what's that?
Listen, I got something for you. We have to talk about the most stale meta in the entire game. We have to talk about Ascent. There's only one comp that's playable on this map. That's what everybody says. This map's solved. Nothing is new under the sun. I think it's time
That Omen KJ KO so
As you know, Ascent is the most
The initiator.
decided map in the entire pool. At champs, 47% win rate on attack, by far the lowest for any attack. But that is where this comp has the solutions. Harbor, Clove, Gecko, Sakai, and Vice.
I'm watching. Keep going. You can at least have me intrigued.
किसको मेरा
60% of attack-sided hits don't work because they just
भाई
get
सब
stuck in the choke.
एक भी ड्यूलिस्ट
So
नहीं.
we're gonna take
सेंटिनल में
that
वाइस
attack-sided and we're gonna turn it into an attack-sided map. We're gonna execute A with the harbor. He's gonna throw the wall.
Harbor, Sky,
50% of the side.
Gecko.
There's gonna be a cove that lands here.
Oh.
All we have to do is just get into A main.
वो कोच है ना.
Concerned? Oh, we don't have a duelist. How are you going to enter on the async? Well, guess what? We don't need to because little man is going to do the planting. Wingman goes in, plants the spike in the cove. They have no idea what's going on. We can close the door. We can put up a shear so that
ऐसे नहीं लिख सकते, उसमें लिखा होता.
By that time, we're going to have clove smokes up. We're going to have a ton of flashes. And once the spike is down, everybody knows your win rate in the round, if you have even numbers, goes up 80%.
Okay, coach, I like what you're cooking. What other type of plans do you think would work in this situation?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Because we could flash out and play. We could even spin you out.
और डिस्कॉर्ड की आवाज़ जा रही नहीं जा रही. मैं
Look, this
डिस्कॉर्ड की
comp,
सेट की
you
नहीं
know the
शायद.
harbor wall right here? You're gonna throw a sky flash through the wall over here on the left.
हाँ कर दिया डिस्कॉर्ड का सेट.
Listen,
अब जाएगी डिस्कॉर्ड की आवाज़.
गन ले ले गन ले ले गन ले ले गन ले ले गन ले
What
ले.
are you talking about? We've been talking this whole time.
Oh man, I mean the fans.
नाइफ कर रहा है पीछे. कवर दे इसको कवर दे. लेफ्ट से गया इधर गए इधर गए. लेफ्ट.
Let's cook.
Gotta wait till our first event.
In the off season?
मेरी गन ले लो मेरी. पैंट लेफ्ट लेफ्ट लेफ्ट. हाँ इधर. दे तो गन तो दे.
ओ भाई
ये भाई ये खतरनाक बंदा है भाई. पैट्रिक हुआ है
भाई एडीएस.
अरे एडीएस तो छोड़. मैं ऐसे देखी ना भाई, तू पागल हो जाएगा. एबिस का जो पीछे वाला हिस्सा नहीं होता है जहाँ से हम लोग एंडो सिटी से जो उड़ के जाते हैं, वहाँ से ये बंदे मारते हैं उड़ के. बता
2d4.
Yummy.
भाई मस्त मजे आने वाले.
Did you win, right? Oh, we win. Let's go! Anadol! Easy! Here and here.
Papi chulo. Crystal. पैट्रिक अकेला ड्यूलिस्ट प्लेयर है क्या टीम का?
We go again.
Guys, this season for every match, when Patrick Hu does something insane, we type Patrick Hu.
Oh boy.
When
Oh.
he does something dumb, we type Patrick Y.
Break drone.
You just throw wrong.
What the fuck? Hello there.
Embarrassing.
Thanks, I think.
Crazy gambler हो भाई.
Yum. Eco kill. Yum. Jiggle go, please, Jiggle.
Wait.
Tawin na!
भाई स्टिंगर भाई बहुत बढ़िया गन है. स्टिंगर बहुत प्यारी गन है.
You see, you ready for this
सिंगर अभी भी एक यूनिक एंट्री गन है भाई।
It's the clove, bro.
तुम भाई भागते भागते फाड़ दोगे भाई। बहुत मस्त आरएनजी गन है सिंगर एंट्री के लिए। कोई अगर जेट खेलता है सिंगर डैश भाई जो घुसे रेना भाई इसके टाइम One v2 4 HP। भाई 500 FPS भाई। बोनस भाई बोनस हम भी करेंगे। भाई हम चैट नहीं कर सकते 30 मिनट तक क्रेजी। देखो यार मैं जरा खाना भी लाऊं सर।
What is this game, bro?
Oh my god, GEO come key some given.
No, this is Patrick.
Sure, yeah, PoE is like funny in that game actually. Look at this, look at this. Look how fast I'm a ninja. This look pro gamer.
प्रो गेमर भाई एक सब दे दो भाई कोई बंदा।
Mom, let's go!
मत चला
भाई
99
ग्लोबल ई-स्पोर्ट्स वाले आके भाई सब्सक्रिप्शन गिफ्ट कर दे अपने चैनल की ट्विच की।
हाँ
मजा आ जाएगा भाई।
नहीं वो नहीं करेंगे।
कर सकते हैं मतलब भाई।
हील कर खुद को हील कर अरे दिखा दे को इधर।
Yay, master class.
जा ये प्लांटिंग जल्दी जा। हो गया प्लांट हो गया। नाइस वन चल अच्छा। ये है अपना कोने में इधर।
Easy.
मार यार गन उठा पीछे से गन उठा। भाई ये पैट्रिक हूँ ना खतरनाक प्लेयर है भाई एम अच्छा है तगड़ा है मैं भाई यहाँ पे।
पैट्रिक वो अगर वैलो छोड़ता है ना तो कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी खेल सकता है अभी करंटली। इसकी मूवमेंट मस्त है नियॉन सही खेलता है।
अरे ये पहले वहाँ का ही बंदा था। नहीं यहाँ का ही बंदा है 18 साल का पता है। 18 नहीं 20 साल का सॉरी 20 साल का
मेरे उम्र गई है मतलब।
भाई खतरनाक प्लेयर भाई उसका एम जो है ना। और वहाँ से अपना पापी चूलो भाई अच्छी टीम बनाई है भाई।
मेरा ब्राउजर
3 बंदे खड़े मेरे गोली पड़ी भाई।
Coach, I am subscribed to Gigabyte. Don't you lie. I am subscribed.
चल
I'm definitely subscribed.
यू पता नहीं भाई यूट्यूब में देखता नहीं ट्विच पे ही देखता हूँ मैं।
ग्लोबल ई-स्पोर्ट्स के VCT ऑफ सीजन इवेंट की अनाउंसमेंट फेस ऑफ। ये एक यूनिक 6 दिन का एग्जीबिशन सीरीज है जिसमें ग्लोबल ई-स्पोर्ट्स की 2025 वैलोरेंट रोस्टर एशिया के सबसे बेस्ट टीम्स के अगेंस्ट लड़ेगी। डेली बेस्ट ऑफ 3 मैचेस होंगे और रोज अलग-अलग इंटरनेशनल टीम्स दिखेंगे। ये एक्सपीरियंस हमारे VCT टीम के लिए एक तैयारी है ताकि जब सीजन शुरू हो तो ये टीम फुल्ली प्रिपेयर्ड हो, दिमाग से भी और स्किल से भी। फेस ऑफ उनके लिए एक ऐसा
क्या बोलता है पाबली
जहां हमारे प्लेयर्स प्रेशर कैसे संभालते हैं वो टेस्ट होगा और फैंस के लिए लिए भी ये एक
देखो किसने
स्पेशल
मारा
मोमेंट
है,
है
मोनीश?
क्योंकि वो पहली बार इस रोस्टर को एक्शन में देखेंगे। 18 to 23 नवंबर ग्लोबली स्पोर्ट्स के वैलोरेंट यूट्यूब चैनल पर और ट्विच चैनल पे भी मिस मत करना।
He wasn't even the top 3 Indian players as far as performance goes. If we don't make champs, it is a failure of a season.
एफ होता था एफ।
क्या तुम लोग खेल रहे हो क्या?
हाँ तो चालू तो होने दे।
The year that I
time
made this
pass
alias, the #1 song in the United States was "Back That Ass Up" by Juvenile, and so yeah, that's how I got my alias, bro. It's from the rapper Juvenile. Back that ass up.
शांति से चलना।
फ्लैश करो, फ्लैश
तो
करो।
इसे नहीं आता
अरे
फॉर
नहीं है यहाँ पे
टीम।
बंदे
Talk with a couple other orgs. I went with the GE.
Right side है, right
because
side है, right
A,
side है,
I
ध्यान
thought
दे।
I had a real chance to win with an APAC based off of last
रुक मेरा
season,
alt है, रुक।
and that I think that the
हेलो
bottom
हाँ
of
एपेक में वन ऑफ द
APAC
बेस्ट
is
टीम में तो
a
है
weak, and
ग्लोबल
then the
स्पोर्ट।
top of APAC is something that you can break into reasonably and make champs. On top of that, the org itself stands for a lot of alike, man. You guys are all ex-esports players. You guys are all ex-pros.
बोल रहा हूँ
You guys
मेरी
really
alt है,
love the
रुको
game.
सुन ही नहीं
And I
रहा।
feel like that's me too, man. Like I'm a fan of esports. I just love seeing it successful. I love seeing other people
रुका आ रहा हूँ, रुको
like-minded
ए।
like that just love esports as a whole, and that's something that GE really brought. I think as an org, which is something that's different than
बैक
other
स्टेप कर
orgs.
रहे हैं, बी जा रहे हैं शायद से।
I mean, Aspas had so many options. And
ये एसपास की टीम का वो है क्या?
big bag.
जो नाइस।
वीएलटी का था ना।
And so yeah, that
हाँ
would be the main
आसपास।
reason. I mean,
अरे
I'm
ये
happy
देखो
with the
नहीं
players
पता
we
कौन
got.
सी
I'm happy
टीम
with
का
the
है?
team we got. So yeah,
नहीं।
I don't have
अरे
any
ये
regrets
अपना
about the
ये
team for sure.
लवियतान का असिस्टेंट कोच था।
भाई साहब।
अल्ट है, अल्ट
I
है।
just grew it out. It's been growing out for like 7 years. The way to keep it nice, use nice
Alt
shampoo,
hai, alt hai.
use a nice conditioner and brush it a bunch.
उसने भी किया, तू भी कर।
I've done it my entire career. My entire career, if you go by
You see.
every game I've ever played, every team I've ever
नहीं
coached,
बैठेगा, नहीं बैठेगा।
I just
जीत
bring
गए बस
success
सेव कर।
in general, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so confident. Is
बाजी
because I'm
जेगी का
confident in my
पैसा है ना।
ability to turn any talented player into
गन
a
लेके
good
गन
player.
लेके गन लेके।
Being talented doesn't mean you're good, but being
हाँ,
talented
मैं
means you
गुआर में
have the
काफी।
ability to be good. And I'm very confident in my ability to teach the game and to teach the game the correct way.
भले।
भाई देना जेट भाई।
भाई
I think there's
क्लोज हूँ मैं
gonna
भी
be
इमोर्टल हिट
some
करने मेरे को
barriers,
करना
but
पड़ेगा
that is
इमोर्टल वापस
like
से हिट।
everyone's in this entire
हाँ तो
scene
ये
is doing
इमोर्टल्स
the
को ही तो
same
उठाते
thing,
हैं ये
right?
लोग।
Every team
वही
in
ना।
APAC is
कंटेंट
huge.
क्रिएशन में।
For us,
इमोर्टल
you
1
know,
2
I'm gonna
3।
go out to dinner with
तो
the
एक गेम पे
players.
कंसिस्टेंट
We're
रहना,
gonna have
वैरायटी
dinners
तो
together.
डेली
We're
मत
gonna have
करना,
stuff
हफ्ते
together.
में
We're
2 दिन
working out
करना।
together 3 times a week.
बाकी 5 दिन
That's
तो
gonna
वो
be
कर।
something
अरे
that was
मेरे
built
को
on
भी
the
कहाँ
rivalry as a
कितना
whole.
वैल्यू
We're
मजा आता
speaking
है।
to each other. We're all gonna
हाँ,
enjoy the
एक गेम
city
देखो पकड़नी पड़ेगी वैसे
itself,
वाली भाई।
and Korea is amazing, man. Whatever the players want, Filipino food, whether we want Korean food, whether we want Tex-Mex, whether we want Italian, everything as far as that goes here is available, and we just gotta go and find it. And that's part of the fun, is going to explore it together.
मिड है तेरे
Yeah,
पास
I mean,
रहना।
we're gonna have a performance coach for the season, and so that's somebody that's definitely gonna help
कवर
with
दे यहाँ,
that.
कवर दे जल्दी
And
इधर।
then in general, like I don't pick up players that have tilt issues or rage issues or any kind of issues. Like that's something that's very important to me in the process of picking players. Is like if I see,
एंड ई नहीं
like
दबा।
I've been around long enough that I can almost tell you instantly which players are gonna be toxic and which are not. I know this sounds crazy, but like
ये पीछे
I've
से
just
कौन आता
done
है
the
बे?
team building thing. I've built
राइट में
100
रे
teams in my career.
जेट
man.
तेरे राइट में
I've
दे
had
दे।
to rebuild my teams 100 different times. Talent
I'll
definitely
revive
trumps
कर
all,
उसको।
but if you're a bad teammate,
मेरे को इधर कर, मैं इधर ही
your
हूँ।
team's not gonna win. The players aren't fixing each other's mistakes. You know what I mean?
लेफ्ट
They're
में
not
वहाँ
getting
इधर
mad
इधर
at each
इधर
other
कर रहा
'cause
भाई, पर
I'm the
इधर ही
bad
हूँ।
guy. I'm the one
ये
telling you you did
इसको मत
something
कर।
stupid. I'm
तो
the
क्या
one
कर रहा
telling
है?
you you did something dumb. I don't need your teammate bitching at you or doing this. I bitch at you and do that. So
चल
I let
प्लांट कर रहे हैं
myself
वो
be the
लोग।
bad
जाओ
guy, but the
ए बी
players
जाओ,
just
बी
be
जाओ, बी जाओ,
players.
बी जाओ। अरे रिबर्थ लेफ्ट में बंद है। अरे
So the
इधर
weekend,
नहीं
so
इधर
yeah,
नहीं
we'll be
पे।
going to get dinner together and
2
have
मिनट में
fun,
मैच
enjoy the
चालू
night
हो
out.
और ये
And then as far as
इसकी
in-game stuff, yeah, like we've
ट्विटर
already
के
been working
क्वेश्चन
on
दे
in-game
रहे
stuff.
आंसर।
One of the early things we did was just
अरे
straight to
इधर
Valorant,
बोट हाउस, बोट
straight
हाउस,
to explain, go straight to a server, have
बोट
them
हाउस।
look up Valorant on the other one, start watching my stream. And
क्या
go
बोल
over
रहा
and
है?
यहाँ पे
over, you know,
रेज को
how-
मारा है ना,
what is my
जो यहाँ
idea
रेज
to
को
play
मारा है,
these
इसे
maps?
बोट हाउस
What is
बोलते हैं।
my
तो
thought
इधर ही तो
process
मैं
of how
बोला
we should
बोट
play
हाउस।
these maps?
13 मिनट और मैं चैट नहीं कर सकता यार।
Whether they're
इन्होंने
willing to
फॉलो
or
ओनली
not is
चैट बहुत
irrelevant.
लंबा रखा है,
It's part of
30
their
मिनट।
job. I feel like once a week is just a little too often. If we do it once a week, they're just not going to have that much to talk about. But during the season, I think maybe every other week or every 2-3 weeks is something that's
Thank
more
you.
realistic. I mean, so when Valorant came out, it was like, I felt like it was made for me. I felt like I had a better understanding of the game than almost anyone else in North America at the very least. That's back when I was coaching Bang Boostio, a couple other names. You know, like I was coaching a really good team even
Wait a
back then.
sec.
They weren't known back then. But it's all players that are tier 1 level these days. So yeah, that's sort of how I got into it and why I got into it. Yeah, he was there and he played okay. Not great, obviously. I would say he wasn't even the top 3 Indian players as far as performance goes. I'm actually going to give you a list of top 3. The top 3 that actually impressed me most was Lightning Fast was first. He was actually the closest to making the team. And then I think Venka and Techno were the next 2, and for me that impressed the most. I think Venka is a duelist that shows
Lightning Fast बहुत बढ़िया खेलता भाई.
but just raw, very raw with decent upside. But he's got to live up to the expectation. He's got to keep grinding. He's got to keep playing. He's got to put the work in. And then Techno, I felt like was just solid. He was very solid overall. He had good comms. He had good decision making, good util usage. Just needs a little bit more time to polish everything. You might see a different community, Indian community next season, and a different teams coming out of Southeast Asia as far as being able to compete at Ascension. Hey RB, I moved from stream today, but yes, I agree 100%. We have to work harder than the other teams, and that doesn't necessarily mean playing more. It means
Let's go
playing
भाई
more
match.
efficiently, working harder as far as like
Match
how
चालू हो
we're
रहा है.
working. So every day we come to scrims, like I don't allow like goofing around, and I don't mean not goofing around. We have fun. I mean like we play scenarios the way we should be playing them.
Face off, VCD off season.
Get ready for the ultimate showdown at Global Esports Face Off.
Are you ready? I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. Let's get it.
18th to 23rd, we face a new opponent each day in an intense best-of-3 series. Witness the Global Esports 2025 VCT roster in action, clashing against some of Asia's best teams, pushing our roster's strength.
कितने बंदे देख रहे हैं अभी जी की स्ट्रीम ट्विच पे?
This show will be narrated
99. कम है भाई, like
and our coaches themselves will step in to break
YouTube
down
पे
the
ज़्यादा
plays.
देखे होंगे बंदे.
6 days,
एक बंदा हिंदी में लिख रहा आखिरकार शुरू हो ही गया.
G is going all in against all. Catch it live on the Global Esports Valorant and YouTube Twitch channels.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 6 दिन.
Get ready for the ultimate showdown at Global Esports Face Off. From November 18th to 23rd, we face a new opponent each day in an intense best-of-3 series. Witness the Global Esports 2025 VCT roster in action, clashing against some of Asia's best teams, pushing our roster's strength, strategy, and spirit to the absolute limit. This show will be narrated by some of the finest talent in Valorant on the casting desk, and our coaches themselves will step in to break down the plays on the analyst desk. 6 days, 6 opponents. Every match, every round. G is going all in against all. Catch it live on the Global Esports.
I don't know who to support Orangutan, which is an all-Indian team or G. Bhai, like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what has
ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ
been a
भाई.
really anticipated amount of time that has passed for an
पहले मैं इस बंदे के
amazing
बात का
event.
स्टेटमेंट
Global
देना चाहूँगा
Esports
भाई.
finally
इस बंदे ने बोला कि ऑरंगटन को सपोर्ट करूं क्योंकि वो पूरी इंडियन टीम है, मतलब उसमें कोई इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर नहीं है, या फिर जी को करूं जो कि एक इंडियन टीम है बट उसमें सारे प्लेयर इंटरनेशनल है. भाई ऐसे करते रहोगे ना कि भाई वो उसमें इंडियन है, इंडिया इंडिया इंडिया, तो भाई कभी इंडिया आगे नहीं बढ़ेगी. जी भी इंडिया की टीम है भाई, तो टीम सपोर्ट को कर भाई, टीम सपोर्ट देखना. जी इंडिया की टीम है, जी को सपोर्ट कर. जी ने इतनी जगह भाई वो किए भाई, झंडे गाड़े हैं. ऑरंगटन भी ने भी गाड़े हैं भाई. ये 2 फेमस टीम है भाई, टॉप टीम्स है इंडिया की. तो भाई मतलब तेरे ऊपर है कि तू कौन सी टीम को बनना चाहेगा. ऐसा मत कर कि भाई जी में इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर है तो उसको चूज ही नहीं.
this roster, right? You were the one who were, taking charge of the, players who were playing.
Both are Indian. Support whoever your heart likes, man. You're not gonna support esports anyway. वही भाई, you're gonna support esports anyway, भाई.
Sure, yeah. So
For real, भाई.
I
+1.
was not part of the team for the open qualifiers, but once the closed qualifiers, like it was like 90 players, I think. Closed qualifiers still 90 players, something like that. So Ever since then, I was involved in watching the trials, helping give feedback, pick the players, that type of thing. And honestly, I think we did a lot of eye test. You know, you just like watch the games, you see who looks
like
good, who
तुम्हें
seems to be
आज के
making good
उसमें भाई
decisions.
ड्रॉप भी मिलेगी भाई
Obviously, we had them calming,
ग्लोबल
start
esports को
listening.
अगर
You
तुम
know, who's
देखोगे
bringing
तो
good
आज तुम्हें
mood, who's
ड्रॉप भी
bringing good
मिलेगी
comms, that type of thing. And then also we just kept stats of every single game as well. And so we ended up not only picking the people who I think probably had the 5 best comms for their respective spots, the 5 highest potential mechanically on the eye test, and then also they just were the statistically the best player in each role, honestly. So everything just kind of lined up, and that's who we got. So yeah, I'm really excited for this roster for that reason, because I feel like we really kind of like we threw a very wide net and we ended up with 5 players who kind of like met all of the criteria to be insane.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we've got a really, you know, solid, you know, clutch potential kind of roster. You know, I really love every single player that we selected, especially, you know, given the fact that we've seen these players perform in tier 2 constantly at the highest level, you know, every single one of them. And speaking about every single one of them, I want you to give me a little bit of your
इंग्लिश बहुत प्यारी है भाई मेरे को भी करनी है लाइक मेरी प्रोनाउंसिएशन मैं कल ही बोल रहा था कि मेरी प्रोनाउंसिएशन वगैरह बहुत वीक है मेरे को करनी है भाई ऐसा नहीं कि मेरे को इंग्लिश नहीं आती भाई मेरी प्रोनाउंसिएशन भाई मेरे बोलने का स्टाइल लाइक मैं कॉन्फिडेंस में नहीं बोलता like I have to be confident while speaking English, right?
Every single like Japanese split was like.
अब ये लाइन बोलते ही मेरे को थोड़ा सा वो हिट करेगा कि भाई
I've kind of known about him for a little bit, but when I saw him play on the Chinese teams, I mean, it's just crazy. Like he deserves to be in VCT. Like he won. So if he wasn't in VCT, it would be a tragedy. And honestly, just day in and day out during practice, he proves that just with the level of impact that he has. So I'm very excited to see him, you know, get his birthright, right? He deserves to be here, so I'm glad that we get to give him the stage.
Absolutely. I mean, even I remember watching, you know, Crystal back in Scars, you know, in the last Ascension. Of course, they made it that far as much as they did, but unfortunately, just couldn't get over that last step. And this time, at least, he made it, and now he's here. Speaking of another person who came from the same region to this team, Yurotan, who, of course, you know, did not win the Ascension, but is still here as a player who proved his right. Tell me a little bit about this.
Start karo yaar, bro.
Yeah, so Yudo is not really on my radar.
Setup हो रहा होगा मैच ब्रो रुक जा भाई किसी गेम लोड नहीं होगी कुछ नहीं होगा
tournament, but he's kind of been like for me he's kind of been the standout surprise of the roster so far just because
मेरे हिसाब से शायद लैन ही मैच हो रहा है क्योंकि
that we had to sign him during trials and then
इंडियन टीम्स के साथ ही हो रहा है ना मैच
I was not totally sure how he would fit in just like because I didn't get to hear too much of him during the trials. Like his comms were kind of low. I think it was like literally his mic was too quiet because his comms were good, but like I couldn't hear him, you know. But yeah, he's been insane for the team. Like he's switched roles. His communication is really really good, and it's obviously nice to have the hometown buff, right? We did a little the Korean.
4 minute और फिर मैं भी टाइप कर पाऊंगा bro.
All right, I mean, last year has been the Korean year, right? Of course, due to Genji. Maybe a little bit of that, you know, region magic does come into our play. Speaking of magic, we've got a really solid core of 3 Filipinos coming into the team. First of all, one of them being an absolute veteran, an experienced guy who's probably been the top rated in almost every tournament he plays, Poppy, who deservedly should have been in VCT, I think a little bit a while ago, but now he's finally here with GE. Thoughts on Poppy? Elevated.
Yeah, I mean Poppy's great. He's
hope अच्छा परफॉर्म करे अगर कहीं ओरंगटन से भी हार गए तो मेरा जीजी हो जाएगा.
So it's like we've got
भाई like
inexperienced
इतना वो मत रखो लो होप टीम से
they're gonna do inexperienced things and
दोनों टीम अपना बेस्ट देगी भाई जी ऑलवेज अपना बेस्ट देती है भाई बहुत नेक्स्ट लेवल स्टेज तक गई है जी
to make sure that we don't troll
VCT में भी भाई नाम किया भाई एसके रोसी भाई भाई एसके रोसी जब बैठा था ना तारिक के बगल में भाई प्राउड मूवमेंट था भाई प्राउड मूवमेंट एसके रोसी भाई तारिक के बगल में बैठ के स्ट्रीम कर रहा है
you know, considering all things that you had on your plate.
Yeah, I mean, just day in, day out during the trials, I thought he was doing a very good job leading the team when we would just assign him 4 random players to IGL, and he would do a great job. And he was also fragging out the whole time and playing multiple different agents. So it's just like the whole package is exactly what you want as like a core leader for the team.
That's nice. It's great to feel confident about Kelly as taking up that leading position. And of course, last but not the least, the youngest, but also probably the most powerful in terms of raw aim, Patrick why a lot of personalities there. But tell me a little bit about this kid, because his neon jet in those, highlight reels we've seen so far has been amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, I should just answer this as like Patrick, we'll see. And he's great. He's just like, he's like every other insane 18-year-old
2 मिनट और फिर मैं टाइप कर पाऊंगा.
I've ever played in ranked. He's styling on you. He enjoys being better than people, and he plays with a lot of flair, which is kind of what you want in the duelist role. It's like you want somebody who is unafraid to face down Boss and texture in the server, and Patrick is that guy. He like doesn't care who he's swinging. He's just gonna swing him, and you better be ready, basically.
Yeah, I had a word with Juvenile, and he said Patrick is in a state where he actually doesn't know what pressure really is, in the sense. Is that kind of one of what he plays with? That's why he's not afraid of who comes.
भाई प्रेशर नहीं होना चाहिए भाई, वो बंदा सही खेल रहा है पैट्रिक.
I don't know.
भाई बिना डरे भाई, सामने जो मर्जी हो भाई, खेल तू बैस के ना बेस्ट दूंगा ब्रो.
He's like said certain things and like had little moments where I'm like,
I have to give my best.
He understands like what's going on. It's not just like completely just W key, like head empty, no thoughts, right? Like there's stuff going on in there. So I'm hoping that he can handle the pressure. I think he will. He's got a lot of stuff to live up to. Juvy's not afraid to put the pressure on him, and neither am I. And so it's gonna be one of those like trial by fire things, but he's a good kid. I think he's gonna be able to do it.
Well, we're hoping so. He's been amazing in these highlight reels. Every single ranked gameplay stream or video that I've seen of his, especially that Neon, he just slides around killing people like it's nothing. It will be really fun to see him do that on tier 1 as well. But speaking of the team as a whole, Elevated, what makes you feel like this team is going to do well this year? What have you seen in the last 3 weeks of practice that you think has, shown this team to be a team that can actually compete at the highest level?
Well, so I think the first part is that I think that the way we put the team together was intelligent, and it's not just being like, yeah, we're smart as coaches, but we legitimately like I said, we had this big tryout process. We kind of like allowed the skill to rise to the top, and then both Juvenile and I had some very long conversations about just kind of like what we're looking for in players, how we like to think about the game, what sort of approach we have to the game. And so we got on the same page about a lot of things very early on, and I think that's super important.
Both are Indian team. G is an Indian org and OG is Indian org and Indian team. Kya?
Right, you have to like all be on the same page. Valorant is a game that, in my opinion, is very, very fluid, because there's new patches, there's new agents, maps, right? Might just like
League is also co-streaming this
before the event. You have to be ready to adapt on the fly.
I would suggest कि result पहले से result पे focus मत करना.
Good communication and the ability to
watch the match first, see the team का cohesion कैसा है, क्या mistake हुई है, क्या work कर रहा है. It would give you a whole picture of what's next. सही बात बोली इसने भाई. अभी मैचेस देख लो कि ये वीसीडी में कैसे परफॉर्म करने वाली है, टीम का कितना वो है, आपस में बातचीत, मतलब जो होता है ना कि लाइक कोहेशन नहीं बोलूंगा मैं, आसान वर्ड में बोलूंगा कि कॉपरेशन कैसा भाई, कोऑप कैसे कर पाते हैं आपस में. 5 player co-op कैसे हुआ? He is majority PH player now, so we can say they are PH team and the org is from India. भाई ये पागल बंदा है, ये पागल बंदा है. ओ तू चुप हो जा.
We do some stupid stuff sometimes, but from what I've seen, and if I can trust my own eyes, I think that
So
we're
Indian
gonna
player
win.
required for doing like the
Well, I
star,
mean, it does sound like a crazy flex to say that you watched every single game of every region since First Strike. Hopefully, that's been helping you out as well. But there is a bunch of things that I did want to ask you apart from the GE side of things. You know that of course global
भाई
esports
complaint
has
करना छोड़ो
originated from
भाई
India, and you've seen a bunch of players from here as well. I'm pretty sure in those tracks you would have had a look at them, if not in the close trials. But
तुम्हारा
tell
मैच
me a
खत्म
little bit
हुआ
about what you know
नहीं
about
नहीं
these Indian players.
ठीक
What
है
have you
होगा
thought
तब
about
बता
South
देना
Asia as a region?
हाँ
So I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm going to have to lean on you a little bit to tell me some of the stories, just because there's too much Valorant to watch straight up. The last Indian tournament that I watched was probably Convergence, I think.
Yeah.
And every now and then I'll just kind of like pick a region, like Vietnam or India or the Scandinavian regions, just to like watch a couple of games throughout the season. But my main focus has always been VCT, and there's just not enough time to watch all the games. So from what I remember, Indian players are kind of in that spot where they have pretty good aim, pretty good mechanics, but the structure of most of the teams is not very good. And so like, there's ideas, but a lot of it is like kind of copy paste what they see better teams doing without full understanding of why these teams are doing those things. So the strategic depth hasn't been there, in my opinion, to like enable the mechanics to actually shine. And so that sort of like disconnect keeps them from kind of like taking that next level. But yeah, I mean, maybe you've seen more. You've obviously been a little bit more involved than I have this last season. So yeah, what have you seen? Maybe you can educate me.
I mean, Convergence was actually one of the higher points as well, right? Global Esports was playing back there with the previous iteration, but we had a lot of stuff go around. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we can talk about all of this a little later, because we've right now got our coach waiting for us to interview him. He's going to talk about the team and a lot more. Please welcome GE Juvenile.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
Hello,
How you guys
coach.
doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. We're having a party in here, as you guys can see.
Nice. All right. It seems like
I can't believe they gave you a jersey already.
Nah, you have some in the apartment. They're waiting for you, bro. Hurry up.
भाई जर्सी बहुत प्यारी है
All right.
Yeah. All right. Coach, I need a little bit of insight here, right? You've been with the team of course, for the last 3 weeks. They just landed in, of course, the boot camp as well. But you've been practicing for close to a month right now. How's the progression been for the team?
Good. I mean, we started out really good. Like the talent was obvious pretty much day one. But we've cleaned up a lot of mistakes. We've gotten more cleaner, more consistent. We're playing quote unquote, the right way to play and stuff like that. And so that's definitely the main progress so far. And I feel like it's been noticeable progress, honestly.
All right. There is, of course, a bunch of good things that we've seen recently in terms of highlight clips. Patrick, who's been on a bit of a roll, he's playing really well with the duelist, at least in the highlights and stuff. But I want to hear from you. What's the good stuff that you've seen from the team so far that they've really, they've shown that, okay, they've got, the medal for this? What have you seen that's the good stuff for the team so far?
I mean, everything, bro. Like, I mean, the only thing bad right now is we suck at
Prime Gaming से भाई subscription
My strats are good.
His strats are the best comps in the whole world. We're gonna have the best everything. No, no, it's seriously been really good. Obviously we're not perfect by any means. No team in the world is perfect. But I feel like we're doing really, really good. And our strengths is definitely our just overall talent. The talent on this team I think is extremely high, and I think you guys will see that today, and hopefully you guys will be excited for the season.
All right. A question to both of you, actually, this one. What made you gravitate towards GE? What made you join GE in the first place?
Go ahead, Elvin. I'll answer second.
Well, I wanted a shot in tier 1 and they gave me a shot in tier 1, but honestly, after talking with, the thing is, like, knowing that I was going to probably come in as an assistant coach, I have to vibe with the head coach. And after talking with Jimmy about the game, I thought it was going to be a fun project where like we could bring different things to the table, in different ways, and complementary skills might make us sort of like level up. So yeah.
Yeah, and then for me with GE, I mean, it's a little similar, which like the offer was there, but also like I really thought that I could win it.
भाई ये बंदा पढ़ा लिखा है, ये बंदा एजुकेटेड है, FR1XCN। भाई इसने जितना बोला है ना कि भाई बड़ा डिबेटेबल टॉपिक है,
teams
बस
in
यहाँ
that
पे हम
range, and then
सपोर्ट करना है, छोड़ो वो बात को
you
भाई,
know,
सही
making
बात है।
champs, I feel like is a reasonable
डिबेट कर रहे हो भाई,
expectation
मैच
as long as
देखो
you guys
भाई,
have a good
जी को
roster,
सपोर्ट
which
करो
I
भाई,
believe
जी
you have
विनिंग
you know,
भाई।
everything down. And so that's one of the big reasons. And then GE in
ऐसा
themselves,
जी
we talked,
फेस
had actually had an
भाई।
in-person talk with him at Champs, and after having the talk with is actually Bobbin, or Hell Ranger for you guys. After having that talk, I just sort of like, I like their thought process, I like their ideas, and I really like that it was a bunch of ex-players.
बोनस मिल गया भाई, जी विनिंग
filled
लिखते ही
with like
बोनस मिल गया
gamers.
50।
Everyone here is gamers. They're
क्रेजी।
not, they didn't come in this to make money. They didn't come in this to do this. It was purely just to
भाई जर्सी
do
बहुत है ना
something
मेरे को
great
वो
for
थोड़ा
the Indian community as a
क्या
whole, and
बोलते
then
पता नहीं,
just their own passion, which I really love.
लूफी का वो गियर
Yeah, I mean,
6
it
है,
has
कौन
been
सा है,
really
मैं
great to
इतना
have you
आगे
both
गया
here,
नहीं हूँ,
especially
बट जो भी लेटेस्ट गियर
the
दिखाया
fact
था
that you,
एनिमे
you
में,
know, have been connected with
वो
the
वाला
audience
लग रहा है
really
मेरे
well,
को।
right? With the recent streams and stuff.
पता नहीं भाई,
Speaking of
लूफी
the
की
audience,
ये
they've
बारी है
been
जर्सी
waiting
से।
to see what exactly is going to be the schedule.
मैं तो अभी
looking like.
एपिसोड में
So
बहुत
today
पीछूंगा, अभी
we're going
कुछ
to be
अराउंड
looking
350
at
एपिसोड
which
में हूँ
team is going
वन
to be
पीस के,
facing
तो मेरे को
off.
मालूम नहीं है वो
We've
कौन सा
got a
गियर है,
great
बट
game
गियर
today. We're
6 ही है
facing
शायद।
off against, of
भाई
course,
जर्सी बहुत
over
प्यारी है भाई,
Edmonton.
गियर
Let's have
6
a look
की
at
याद आ रही
them
है मेरे
as
को,
well.
गियर 6 गियर
Jimmy, I
5
want
जो
you to
भी
give
है,
me a little bit of your, you know,
लेटेस्ट गियर।
expectation. What exactly are you looking at
जो डिजाइन है
from
भाई बहुत
this
प्यारा
Indian
डिजाइन है।
roster of 5 men?
Yeah, I mean, we trialed
ऑक्स,
definitely some of these
माकावेली,
Techno
हेल्फ,
and Vinka. Both
हेल्फ
were
है,
trialing. They
अच्छा,
were really good players.
टेक्नो
I generally thought they were
और
good.
वैंका,
They just need a little bit more polish.
ओजी जीई।
But their roster as a whole, I actually watched their last season when they ended up playing in the grand finals.
भाई ये मस्त लगता है भाई,
And
ऐसा
they
कोई
looked
मेरे
good,
फेस
man.
का
They
बना
looked
दे।
really good. Like they're really talented. Vinka was doing like
मेरे
he had
फेस का एक
ace
ऐसा
on
यार एक
Icebox, and there's just
अवतार
a
बोलते
lot
क्या
of good
बोलते
stuff.
जो
And
भी
the way
बोलते
they were
भाई बना
playing
दे।
was like I felt like the correct way to play. They were using util correctly, clearing angles correctly, working together correctly. And so I thought it was way higher. A way higher play than I originally had imagined. So yeah, definitely excited. I think these guys are going to be good.
Well, Elevate, I did want to ask you. We just spoke about the Indian player conversation just right now, but you know this is a squad that two of which players I believe you've seen, like Juvi just mentioned, Techno and Venka. You know, you did see them in those tryouts, and of course they were doing stuff. They could not, of course, make it through. But I want you to tell me what your opinion is on the fact that this team is probably just almost as old as our roster as well, GE's roster. They've just been formed probably 2 months prior to when GE was formed. Do you think that, that newness of GE might come?
भाई ये बंदा पैरा लिख रहा है, ये बंदा पैरा लिख रहा है। No, it is not to each his own. It's from frag. Not everything is debatable. Debatable will be if there is one Indian player, then we call it Indian team or not. Like when only SEKIRO was playing, it was debatable at whether GE can be called Indian team or not. But when there is no player from our country, then the team is not from that country. No debate. Yes, the org and their staff is Indian, so org is Indian.
It's going to be the cool plays, but this is a moment where maybe Juvenile and I get to show a little bit like, hey, we know what we're doing because we've had very little time and our
Debate करूँगा.
Pretty good as a result.
Yeah. Do you think that, of course, the element of surprise that you might bring to the table is something that OG might not be prepared for? Or do you think, you might, not be ready for what they've got in store? Maybe they could come up with something different, because last year we saw in Convergence, True Rippers almost beat that Gen G team, right? So do you guys feel like there's something similar, or is G in the clear?
Yeah, I mean the big thing is like
भाई मैच एंजॉय कर लो, क्या बोल रहा हूँ भाई, क्रेजी ले यार, इतना ही लिख देता भाई।
And so it's not like these guys are just magically going to be 1,000 times worse than
भाई
what we are, etc. The top tier 2 players I feel like are just as good as tier 1
अबे भाई
players.
मैच देख लो भाई।
There's other things that go into it, right? Coaching staff, strats, experience, all these other things. So I definitely think that there should not be a huge
Team
talent
Liquors is
difference here,
based
and I
in
think this is going to be a
Netherlands.
good match overall.
Okay,
but
bro. Okay.
the reality is like we need to win. That's the reality. We the expectation is we're going to win. At least 5-6 out of these matches, and so that's the plan.
Yeah, well, to be fair, OG, this squad is actually really, really, interesting squad as well. It's really loved by the people of our country right now, because it's a bunch of youngsters who've shown potential, have done really well in the past, and I myself have seen them grow for the last 2 years. So I'm actually kind of, really hopeful that this is going to be a close matchup, because most of them there are friends of mine, and I would really love to see them, do well against the tier 1 team.
भाई इससे मुंह लगा लिया भाई, ये मेरे को पैरा लिखना चालू कर देगा।
The audience, right, for the last couple of days. How's the interaction been with the Indian fans for you? I see that you're getting a lot of love from them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm getting so much love from them, but I also love them, man. Everyone's great. Like even just like yesterday, like I sort of told them this, like yesterday wasn't such a great day for me, like mentally, but like when I hopped
अबे
on the
यार मेरे
stream, bro, like I
में
was
वो
happy.
क्यों नहीं है, मेरे को ये
Instantly,
डालना
my
था.
mood changed. I was chill, like I was having fun, and so like yeah, I really enjoy hanging out with them, man. It's just like hanging out with the boys. Everyone's been amazing. There's not been a single negative comment, and I expect that to continue throughout the season.
Yeah, Elvin, I think it's time for you to start streaming as well.
पापा
Getting a
डाल
little
देता
bit
हूँ,
of
छोड़.
that Indian love.
Sorry bro.
Bro,
He's
I
shy.
mean,
He's
when
shy.
I have a little bit more time, but yeah, I'm not a people person, honestly. I like to yap, but I'm not a people person. But I'll stream every now and then. I don't know.
I'll make him get on my stream. Don't
It's
worry.
all right. He'll get there. He'll get there. He'll get there. It's slow and steady. No problem. Juby, one more thing I did want to ask you, right? You are a coach who's been to champions. It's inevitable that you've got experience of the absolute highest order. What was it like being in champions, and how is it different from what we see on our screens? Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Champions was the sickest thing I've ever been a part of in like the 20 plus years I've been a part of esports. It was so amazing. It's a 30,000 people in the stadium or 28, whatever the number was. 9 million people watching from home. Like it was a sick experience, super cool. And yeah, I want to experience that again this year. Like that's one of my main motivations this entire season is to make champs because it is one
I
of
mean,
the
if you
coolest
watch
events
VCT, you would
in
consider
the
G
world for
representing
sure.
your country, right? I
And I want
understand
G to
your
be a
point,
part of
and
that. I want
compared to
Indian fans
OG,
to be a part of that.
yeah,
I
OG
want you
is
guys
completely
to
Indian. I'm
have
just
so
saying,
much
I
to root
don't
for in
think
this
G
event.
is at point where we don't consider it. And
We've been looking forward to it. Yes, Elvin.
I just wanted you to maybe explain what's going on with the flashing lights. Why are you raving in the office when we're supposed to be playing a game?
Yeah. So first off, we just decided no playing matches we're gonna party. No, really. So the thing is it's just like champs, just like events on these stages. Like there's lights flashing, there's fans screaming, there's noise being made. So we don't need to play in a silent environment. My entire reason for this entire show matches for me is to get as much experience as we can and replicate on stage. We weren't able to have a LAN event this off season. So for me, this is the closest we're gonna get, and this is how I'm gonna get the players ready. So these lights are pretty much just to annoy the players. That's the only reason they're installed. Is how can I annoy them as much as possible, and replicate match day as much as possible. So that's why we're doing all the interviews, all the different stuff. Is gonna look like what this is gonna look like on match day, and we're doing what we can right now.
hacker VLR.
Thank you, Costas.
You
I
wanna?
have with me the coach of Global Esports, Juvenile. Also, I have with me my first copy, the coach of Orangutan, Hacker. How are you guys?
Good, man. Good.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Hacker.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too, Juvenile. Hello, JD भाई, आपका छोटा भाई आ चुका है.
Both of you. This is the most important part of today's game.
भाई मैं
This
क्या
is the match
छोड़
veto.
दे दोनों को मुंह.
According to me, this decides how the
We do
match is going to
consider
go
G.
ahead. Are you guys ready for the veto?
भाई पागल बंदा है ये. We
Perfect.
do
So
consider
it's
it
going
an
to be a
Indian
coin
org.
toss. This is going to be tails. This is going to be heads. Who would like to call?
Juvenile, you can call.
Tails never fails.
Okay, Juvenile. Okay, tails never fails. Let me. It is tails. Juvenile. Would you like to ban first or would you like to pick first?
Team B.
Okay. Give me your ban.
So I have to ban first, correct?
Yeah, you ban
Yes,
Abyss,
Hacker.
sir.
Yeah, we ban Abyss.
Okay, Orangutan bans Abyss. Hacker, before I go ahead, any particular reason why you're banning Abyss?
I think we are not that prepared on that map, to be honest. We have been experimenting a lot, and I feel that we still are not quite there yet in terms of the composition that we would love to play on that map. So we're still in the experimental phase. But for the rest 6 maps, I think we are pretty prepared. So let's go with our strengths, right?
Cool. Abyss is banned by Orangutan. Juvenile, you're banned.
Let's go ahead and ban Bind.
Bind ban, okay.
Okay. Global Esports bans Bind. Any particular reason, Juvi?
Let's go. अबे तू कल मिराज खत्म कर रहा था ना भाई, मेरे को नींद आ गई थी. मैं जाके लेटा, फिर घर वाले आए, मैंने खाना मंगाया और फिर मैं खा के सो गया.
We have to pick first. 1 second. Let me discuss.
बहुत मैंने कंप्यूटर बंद ही कर दिया, मैंने 12 बजे से पहले बंद कर दिया
It's
कंप्यूटर
getting
भाई, 12 बजे
exciting,
से
guys.
पहले
We pick Haven.
शायद 11 बजे ही
Okay,
बंद कर दिया ना,
OG's first
11
pick, Haven. G, your pick.
अराउंड या हाँ
We'll pick Sunset.
Sunset.
One of my
Okay.
favorite maps, Sunset, coming in by Global Esports. Again, Hacker, on to you. Expand.
Yes. Let me discuss. Wait.
Tick, tick, tock. Tick,
भाई दोनों सच में लग भी रहे हैं सेम सेम।
tock.
We ban a set.
कैमरा लग गया क्या?
Okay, friends, we ban. G, you lost ban.
Let's go ahead and ban Split Play Pearl.
Okay, so the third and deciding match will be for. Guys, that was the map veto. Casters, take it away.
Well, that was quite an experience. I don't think we were ready for that. Jimmy, you got a little startled there in the beginning. But thank you, JD, so much for the unique experience. I'm pretty sure, guys, you've never seen anything like this, only on the Global Esports channel. So if you haven't already, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to Juvie, Elevated as well. He's got everything, you know, it only happens here, guys. All right, so we've got a decent set of maps here. We've got Haven, we've got Sunset. Juvie, how are we feeling about Haven? What are you expecting from Haven? What are we looking at?
Yeah, I mean, Haven's a pretty set meta. I don't think there's going to be anything crazy. Every team runs pretty much the same comp with maybe a different duelist, but for the most part, it's pretty set in stone at this point, so I expect the same. It comes down to a lot of mid-rounding, us making the right adjustments, and us
होगा
having,
तुम्हारा मैच
you know,
खत्म,
honestly, more than
मैच
anything,
चालू
having
होने
the
वाला है।
retakes down. And so we'll see, yeah, we'll see. I'm feeling confident. About our map pools, I think right now, our map pool in general is really good, and so really any maps we played, I think we'd feel good on, but I think this is the three that yeah, we're definitely confident in.
Okay, here we have a little bit of a look at the players'
low.
little setup. We've got a bunch of lights
Really?
here, and hopefully the sounds, which we can't hear right now, but they will be simulated for them. But Elevated, tell me a little bit about Sunset. Why is that pick coming? Is there something like, you know, particular about it? Because just a little bit of comparison, last season, Sunset, although we picked it ourselves, wasn't that great of a map. What changes can we see this time on Sunset?
Well, I mean, Juvie's the GOAT. He did the perfect map veto, as always. And, you know, I think Sunset is just another one of those maps that's going to let us show exactly who we are as a team. How's that for a PR answer?
Fair enough, I get it. I mean,
I can't give you too much, you know. I'm trying to toe the line here, caster, coach, you know.
Yep, fair enough. All right, let's talk about a little bit about, you know, what do you expect from Orangutan to come in, you know, because they have played Haven just pretty recently.
And the match goes
you know,
smoothly.
in the last tournament they played the Penta Pro Series, and they did bring in the Yoru ISO comp along with an Omen, Sova, and you know, Cypher. What do you think about that comp? You know, playing on Haven, it wasn't the best of maps that ended off for them, but what do you guys think about the ISO Yoru comp?
It's obviously a very good comp, right? It's the one that Fnatic ended up making, correct? And so for that, honestly, a lot of the stuff we did on Haven is going to be a little bit similar to Lev. And when I made some of the stuff, or had ideas for some of this stuff, it was within mind of countering Fnatic comp. And so really, I think we have a good chance of playing against this comp. I think we understand how to play against it. I've done anti-prep before against Fnatic at Champs, and so I think yeah, I think we have a chance, you know, to sort of show that the comp is not unbeatable, goated comp. You know, it definitely is. It has its own weaknesses, and so I feel like yeah, we'll do good.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to be coming up with. You know, are we going to have Neon on Patrick Koo, or are we going to see a Jet, maybe some other comp? We've seen a lot of that stuff, you know, go through. But right now, I think
अब ये लोग
we've
इंडिया में
got,
है क्या
you know,
सारे?
the players just ready uploading into the lobby. We're going to be heading into the game.
I'm excited to see who ISO duels first. That's my favorite part about this map. Who's going to get the first ISO duel?
I'm not sure if OG are gonna stick to this comp, just to maybe throw you guys a curveball. Maybe you never know. But if at all, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Techno. He is the one who played the ISO a couple of times around. Tell me, have you guys had a chance to look at his? Have you guys had a chance to look at the games with this comp? Have you seen OG play with this?
No, I haven't seen OG play with this, to be honest with you. But like I said, I assume usually when you're tier 2 or even the tier 1 teams, you steal from the best team, and the best team is Fnatic at this map. So I assume a lot of what we're gonna see is similar to Fnatic.
All right, well, we'll find out if it's anything Fnatic-esque at all. Sunset's coming up next. But Juvenile, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you after the game.
Thank you, guys. See you guys after.
Good luck, coach.
Bye-bye. Thank you, bro.
All right, well, Elevated, it's just you and me now. We're going to be heading into the game. Just only Valorant action coming in. GE fans who've been waiting for a good amount of time now to finally witness them play. They're going to get to see it against multiple different teams. And I'm really excited. Haven's going to be coming up. You've cooked up something special. Any last thoughts before we head into the game?
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see how our team does. I hope the flashing lights do annoy them. I hope that Orangutan pushes us. I hope that the game is a close one. And I think, map 1 for us has always been one where it's like, it kind of sets the tone for our day in scrims, our first scrim of the day. And so I think that'll be probably similar here.
All right. Okay. I did want to ask you though, you're the man who loves, crunching the numbers, who wants to see the win rate percentages, who wants to make sure that the maximum and the best outcome possible, the win percentage is in your hands. Do you see Haven as being one of those maps where you feel like, you are going to be a lot more confident? Is it a better map for you?
Yeah, it's been pretty good for us in scrims.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But most of the maps have been
Oh, the coach, okay.
So I think Haven's
Coach
just, it's just a
opposite
solid
में ही
map. Like it's pretty straightforward. I think we understand it well. And yeah, it'll let us play our game like the way that we like to play Valorant, I think.
Yep.
भाई वो 24 इंच का मॉनिटर पे खेल रहे हैं ना 24
Juvie did mention one particular
24 inch is best for esports, right?
Has in one of the previous editions, in one of the videos that he has spoken about, that there is talent, but the structure right now in the Indian region is yet to be established. And you mentioned it as well. We need to be able to come up with our own stuff at times and do something different from what we usually see. Copy paste is not something that's always going to work. Even the last time when we saw Revenant Esports in Ascension, of course they did decently well. They went ahead by 2 rounds. Unfortunately, got out in the lower bracket. But what do you expect from Indian players now that they're going in to a matchup with a proper tier 1 team? Can you see them actually, not just global esports, but do you think these teams are going to be able to compete with other teams from tier 1?
I mean, I guess that remains to be seen, but I expect these guys to be hungry. Like we're the Indian team, right? And it's no secret that we have no Indian players on our roster, but it's not because we haven't given them chances, right? They just didn't make it through the trials. And so I think a lot of them are going to be looking at us as like a way to prove something. And so I expect them to come out swinging at us. So we have to be ready for that. Like legitimately, that extra motivation is dangerous. Even if we're technically like the favorite in this, like we have to be ready for them to be trying to prove a point.
Yeah. Well, here we go. We've got the game almost locked and loaded. I think we're just waiting for 1 or 2 more players to join the lobby. But before we get in, just a little bit more of a insight into your, journey. You were, I believe, at Ascend last year, correct?
Yeah, I was a content creator for them for almost 2 years, and then I was the assistant coach for their JC team in 2023 and their main team last year for the second split.
What do you see different in the EMEA region that is different from the APAC? What's the biggest difference that you've noticed in the 2 regions?
Honestly, they're a little bit closer than I thought they would be. I'd say the bigger difference is between Americas in terms of like
Okay.
how the players take coaching and that type of thing.
Mhm.
EMEA is definitely a little bit more of a slow-paced, kind of serious region, I guess, at least from my
Yeah.
experience. Like the teams are a little bit more like business-like in terms of how they go about things. And
Yeah.
so far, at least our team, it's like, you know, we have to have fun if we're going to play well, right? So we need to be enjoying the game. But I think that's kind of how it is for everybody, right? If you don't, how are you going
FU
to
मेड
excel
देख
at
तू
it?
गन
True,
पड़ी है पीछे गन
क्या
पड़ी है
स्कोर है तुम्हारा?
लेफ्ट
क्या
में
स्कोर है?
लेफ्ट में ए जाओ एक जाओ ए जाओ ए जाओ ए जाओ आया स्पाइक मिल गया चलो
You need to be able to enjoy, and I hope that the players have been
भाई ये
enjoying
लोग
so
मैच
far in the
खत्म
practice
कर
as
रहे हैं
well.
अपना
We're going to
भाई.
be looking at what exactly is going to be coming up while we do wait for the players from Orangutan to get back to the seat as well. A little bit of an insight about your thoughts on the other VCD teams that we're going to be facing off in this upcoming season as well, 2025. One of the most interesting, exciting prospects, of course, SPG. I'm pretty sure you saw a couple of their
तो
games and how
भाई
they play, right?
पैट्रिक वूगो शायद वो है ना?
Yeah, they were super fun. I'm somebody that loves
पिंग
innovation.
इशू
And they
होंगे.
were kind of, I mean, straight up, they were like the team that
बट ब्रो
inspired everybody to start
क्रेजी
playing,
भाई वो
Budget,
पैट्रिक वू
right?
भाई
Like
अगर
they
तब
were
भी
the team that
मारता
was
है.
running around. I mean, some other teams were
सैल्यूट है
good,
भाई
but
उसको भाई.
SPG was the team that was really kind of like, you have to do this because it's insanely
2025 की
powerful
मर्सी
and it makes
जर्सी
every
भाई
single go-around
क्रेजी लग
dangerous,
रही है. मेरे
which
को लेनी चाहिए क्या?
if I can remember from the chamber meta, is a totally like game warping thing. If you have the ability to have one
EE
character
fighting.
potentially win you an eco round, you have to really think about that carefully.
Yeah, absolutely. And Neon's been pretty much busted, but you are the guy
Bro.
who works around the meta. So what do you like better? What did you like?
क्रेजी जर्सी है भाई.
Better, or do you prefer the
बट
Neon?
बहुत महंगी है मेरे लिए भाई.
I mean, I like the Neon meta.
G, please
because it
sponsor
runs
one
better
jersey,
at the game.
please.
I think if we had old chamber now, there would not be nearly as much complaining because the agents have kind
Only
of
one
come in to help
jersey.
fill the gaps a
Sekiro
little bit.
Sensei, please.
And also people are just way better at dealing with problematic agents now.
भाई मेरे को अच्छी लगी है भाई
So,
जर्सी
like,
यार.
yeah, I mean, I
जर्सी
definitely
चाहिए.
I like what Chamber added to the game. He was
भाई.
definitely broken. I think current Chamber is in a pretty good spot, honestly. But the fact that Chamber made people like use utility to clear corners was a good thing. Like
mod है
it taught
chat
people how to
में.
play the game
मैं
better.
mod को वो भेज रहा हूँ.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've spoken a lot about the agents.
Message
Let's
भेज रहा हूँ
actually
mod
look
को.
at what GE is cooking up and what OG are going to be coming in with. The agents are like this year.
Chat में डाल दे
Little bit of a
mod,
delay,
मैं pin
apologies
कर
for that,
दूंगा.
But we are now heading into the game, and there it
अगर chat में
is.
mod है कोई.
Okay, Patrick who's got a
Message
little
भेज
bit
देता
of
हूँ
an
मैं.
interesting name there. As we've got a Neon and Breach alongside Crystal's Sova for Global Esports, and on the other side we've got Wenka picking up the Neon. So they're actually shifting too, it seems a little bit. They've gone
message
for
भेज दिया
pretty much
मैंने.
the same comp as you guys.
Cool. I mean,
भाई
I know that mirror comps are like
mod अगर chat में है तो भाई
it's
डाल
fun
दियो.
to see different agents interacting against each other, but especially when you're like getting to know teams. I think
Let's
it's
go भाई मैच
fun
चालू हो रहा है.
to
Let's
get to
go.
see, like who's better, right? Just without all
Neon.
of, like the extra stuff. that
Begin
goes
the
on.
game. अबे वो मेन अकाउंट से भी नहीं आया भाई.
You know, mirror comps,
ये तो
of
मेन
course,
अकाउंट से भी नहीं आया.
like you mentioned, you get to see who's better, but also about who is able to actually utilize these, aggressive micro
Let me pin this. Let me
sectors that you
pin,
can take
pin,
control,
pin.
especially on the defense side. Because OG on defense, usually they're going to be pretty much heavy on A. They've done that even with their previous comp as well when they were playing with the Euro and ISO. They love taking A main control quite some bit on
Cypher खेल रहा है भाई.
of the sides they play on, both on attack and defense. So this is going to be an interesting change because they are, of course, turning up the other side of the comp. They're going
Same team होने वाली है क्या?
now.
Same team.
And Venka, he has been known to be really good with the
Same team, bro.
not exactly
Same
in
team.
official games. He's not played it that much. It's been mostly the Jet, but I'm excited to see what this kid's going to be cooking up against Patrick Hu. Both of them, by the way, same age. They are 18, both of them, and they're going to be going up against each other. This is going to be a really good battle, and I can feel it in my nerves.
Yeah, I'm getting those like pre-match jitters now. Not because I'm extra nervous because my team is playing, but I'm just excited to watch the games. Yeah, I think the mirror comp is going to be really interesting because it's going to come down to like who anchors and retakes better. So whichever team gives away less anchor kills, meaning like that last guy who's kind of like alone on the site, and then also who's ready to flood retake, because that's sort of like the game plan with both these comps, right? You have to be ready to retake as the other team's planting, and you have to make sure that you like do not give away free kills, otherwise you will get completely steamrolled on this map.
Lol, almost same composition. 10th was right. Well, we're starting to get more like CS, where people play fixed set of player, and the guy who make least mistake wins.
Orangutan going up against them.
Meta change भाई करना तो पड़ेगा भाई.
A bunch of these coming up in the next couple of days. So if you want to be notified every single time Global Esports are going to be playing for the next week, you need to make sure that you turn on notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on all social media. Unfortunately, small bit of a tech pause here from OG. They are just setting things up as we're going to be heading into the game pretty quickly.
Ready.
As we should be heading in now. Yep, I think everybody's back.
भाई खेले हैं भाई, मैंने भी टूर्नामेंट्स खेले हैं भाई, मेरे को मालूम है.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first matchup is going to be ready in just about in a second.
भाई मैच चालू हो गया.
हाँ देख रहा हूँ मैं तो मैच ही देख रहा हूँ.
तुम्हारा क्या स्कोर है?
8-4.
अबे भाई जल्दी खत्म करो.
देख रहा हूँ मैं तो तेरी स्ट्रीम ही देख रहा हूँ.
Control sector towards A. And
रुको पहले रिवील दूंगा, रुको.
maybe making the right read to go towards the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing a comp that's kind of built around aggression,
भाई अब कोई chats नहीं चाहिए, अब only full focused.
It's a place where the map splits
Full focus on match भाई.
And if you can shut it down in lobby, then it only has one lane. So it basically takes all the potential options for the attackers and just subtracts like a massive part of the game plan.
All right, here we go. Initial contact towards mid. They're going to take a little bit of space. Garage being the point of contention. It's just not giving up any quietness. They're just going to run in straight into it. Patrick is going to be taking the first contact, and DC is just going to hold back for the moment. As rest of OG pushing up towards A. They've already covered off that little part of the map, but GE going to retrace their steps, go towards B this time.
Yep, nice little default from GE, and so it looks like we were ready for it.
Nice. अबे स्ट्रीम अटक रही है bro.
Rotan takes the first contact. DC's gone. Was holding on that little angle for quite some time now, and now they're spread out well. Venka might not be ready. No, he is. Kelly is going down. Poppy's gonna be taking out. Hope's coming on the flank. Got a flash to cover up.
अबे पैकेट लॉस हुआ था हल्का सा मेरा. भाई इतना गलत टाइम पे पैकेट लॉस, इतना गलत टाइम पे.
Completely outskirted position, stun after stun, and it's gonna be GE first pistol. A little scrappy from OG there. They've kind of split out far too much. The flank as well, not properly coordinated, but of course it is their first time playing this new comp, so we're gonna give them a little bit of a leeway.
I guess
how they're gonna settle
मेरे को YouTube पे जाना चाहिए.
Because of course there is one more change here elevated. The fact that DC
Global
has come into the
Esports,
server usually in the last couple of tournaments. The fact that DC has come into the server usually in the last couple of tournaments, it's been Machiavelli who's been playing for them, who is their main duelist, but right now they've gotten their sixth in to play this game as well, so that is one more thing to be noted.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know too much about DC, but
भाई वैसे YouTube की स्ट्रीम पीछे रहती थोड़ी.
Maybe that's a hole that GE will exploit, or maybe he'll be sort of the hero that Orangutan needs.
Oh, big setup from GE on the B side. They've got a stun ready from Hellef on contact. Ready to break recon as well. It seems like OG have got a set game plan here for the anti-eco. And Crystal's just holding, making sure that nobody pushes out the C-Link. A little patience here from GE. They just want the first
Crystal has a full utility kit though.
Yep, exactly.
He's got full info kit, so if he uses this, timing is terrible for Orangutan. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm not sure that push was necessary, but Hoax gets one through the smoke. Crystal caught out in the open.
नहीं दिया भाई, so
it's going to be a trade at least in the bare minimums. The info is gone from GE. They're going to have to rely now on new Yudotan, and I was going to say it, but Venka's ready for it. A little bit of trouble here, but they get the A set in control. Plant should be taken pretty easily. Not too much of a problem for that. But the post plan now is where the question lies. Can they win this?
Spike planted.
This is going to be a big time on Patrick, who anti-ecos have plagued a lot of teams ever since the Neon patch.
Long.
Definitely, it's always a dangerous thing. Ooh, nice flank from DC, but great trade.
Last player standing.
Oh, it's only going to be Patrick Koo now, and he's not going to be ready for that as well. Helef with the picked up outlaw. And
ये लोग तो मेरे जैसा खेलते हैं बिल्कुल. अबे जाना.
On the anti-eco. That was a bit of a hit and a miss there. Yuratan, I feel like he had total control. He could have gotten that kill, but Venka almost, expecting that he's going to be walking in that exact second. And his final kill from DC, I think this is the most important. Taking out Kelly there actually gave them the confidence to win this 2v2. And this is something you spoke of off camera as well, right? The anti-eco.
यार ये watching भाई 3000 की यहाँ Twitch पे watching नहीं आ रही थी.
Really on and off for a lot of teams because they can exploit that speed with the Bucky. Although they didn't use the Bucky here.
यहाँ की मैं chat देखना भी चाहूँगा. क्या ये World Tour नहीं है क्या? World Tour नहीं है. इनकी new team बनी है Global Esports की तो ये tryout दे रहे हैं कि इंडिया की best team से लड़के की ये VCT के लिए qualify कर पाएंगे नहीं कर पाएंगे. कि अगर इंडिया की टीम से हार गए तो भाई ये टीम खेलने लायक नहीं VCT.
Yeah, I mean, Hoax is kind of the hero last
round. FPS drop in stream तो अच्छा मतलब मेरा अकेले का नहीं हो रहा है. I thought मेरा हो रहा है इसलिए मैं Twitch से यहाँ पे आ गया.
In drone form, but it is what it is. Hoax capitalized.
भाई lag हो रहा है क्या? हाँ भाई lag हो रहा है.
If he takes first contact here with the Outlaw, it's going to be problems for GE.
Low volume तो नहीं है. I mean game sound low है थोड़ी सी यहाँ सही बोल रहा है.
So that's a bit of a question as to where exactly this hit's going to go. The spike still right outside B, and it has been completely left open by OG. So it's a good read by GE here. They should be able to get the plan, but they're just going to tap it and fake it here. That's going to pull off all the rotation. Then, oh, this is interesting.
Nice.
That's going to set up Patrick Koo. Yep.
Like crazy.
What a call from Kelly. I love that.
Oh, that's a big kill as well. A little too aggressive. Didn't probably need to go for the second there. Long range. Venka's going to take care of him. The plan's going to come down now. As it is a 4v4.
मुझे मैसेज आया था ट्राउट के लिए लेकिन मेरे पे इतना टाइम नहीं था. अच्छा सही बोल रहा है. मेरे को पता किसका आया था. मेरे को सेंटिनल का आया था. बट मैंने मना कर दिया कि भाई इंडियन टीम का जब तक नहीं आएगा मैं नहीं करूंगा.
How much utility does ranking have? I think they used a lot to fend off that fake and B. So that's kind of hard to get back in.
और इंडियन टीम मेरे को लेती नहीं कि तूने रेडिएंट का भी हिट नहीं किया. Immortal अपनी मानते जब रेडिएंट हिट करा तब क्रेजी एस भाई.
Come to play it seems and orangutan. Oh, really well played. Their utility was paramount from getting that first kill especially. I feel like Patrick Koo didn't really need to go any further for that jump peak.
Patrick Koo भाई.
That second kill was amazing. The stun comes through and a follow-up as well from Helef to cover off anybody on site. It confused Kelly S as well because he was completely frazzled. Could not use his weapon as well properly. The stun this time not as cosmetic as you would think of it to be.
Venka India got proved.
Yeah, I mean, great round for Venka, obviously. Farming the ecos.
भाई ऐसा नहीं है भाई.
It's time for
imagine
GE,
not picking Venka global esport.
This is a huge rifle round. This is an attack-sided map. You don't want to go down.
Rushi wrong. Venka, let's go.
Yeah, well, he's got the operator.
Operator comes out. Okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
Will we suss this one out? Is the question.
I mean, भाई.
Once again, OG
ऐसा सीन नहीं है ना like tryout में उसके ज़्यादा kills होंगे. खैर में यही तो देखा जाता है कि कौन ज़्यादा अच्छा खेल रहा है. सेंटिनल गेमिंग हाउस में जो कोचा मारता है ना वो भी तुझसे अच्छा खेलता होगा. अबे वो सुन ज़्यादा बज मत. ठीक है.
Yeah, we like to keep all those maps for sure.
भाई बंदे YouTube वाले भाई यही YouTube की ऑडियंस मैच्योर नहीं होती आधी से ज़्यादा भाई. आधे ज़्यादा बोल रहा हूँ. सारी ऑडियंस को नहीं बोल रहा मैं. आधे ज़्यादा बोल रहा हूँ.
Overall, the reads that we've had are pretty good, and we just need to make sure that we execute cleanly.
Oh, they've gotten the site pretty convincingly, and now it's for the plans to come down. 5 as well. But there is a big ultimate available for Venka, and if he goes through with it, he's already entered backside. The smoke's gonna cover him up. It's gonna be Kelly S in the smoke alongside Patrick Koo. He gets that first kill. The ultimate's committed as well, and the breach is gonna make things so much more easier. A little too overcommitted there. Hope's gonna get 1-2. And another one from Helef. Is he gonna get a connected? Oh my god, orangutan! He brought it down to a 1v1 and all onto Udatan now. Yes, however, it's gonna be a little difficult for him to retake this because Udatan has got a lot of experience in playing these kind of situations. He's done it in China once. He's doing it again! He went for the stick! Unfortunately, Helef he will not be able to
भाई
secure
थ्रो
that
था,
round
ये
in time.
थ्रो
So
था
the
वैसे,
right
ये
time
जी का
is going
थ्रो
to be
था,
Global Esports
ऑलमोस्ट
with
थ्रो था
a
भाई,
bit
कसम से भाई
of an
घुस के मार रहा है।
overextensive round here. I didn't really feel a need to push out all the way towards spawn there. They ended up losing 4 weapons as a result of that, and their economy not
भाई
really good books
ओडोटान
right
ने
now.
निकाला है राउंड।
Yeah, I mean, huge play by Yudo to
भाई
secure the
लैग हो
round.
रहा है कसम से
This
यार,
was
लैग
massive
हो रही
round
स्ट्रीम
for
थोड़ी सी
GE
जी
to
की,
win. Obviously, it was not clean, and
थोड़ी सी
a lot
बहुत।
of that comes down to just being a little bit too excited to chase kills, which is something that we are definitely working with a lot.
भाई ये
with
क्या
the team.
कैम था ब्रो, क्रेजी कैम।
Not too surprised to see it happen.
मेरे को मालूम नहीं था इतना दूर
Disappointed
कैम
that
लग
it does,
सकता है,
but
मैं साइबर
it's
खेलता नहीं ना।
understandable.
Oh,
2-2
OG, this mid push could be
है।
interesting. Yudo might not be ready for
अब
this.
मैच
He is
खत्म हो
going
गया
to hold on
तुम्हारा।
a really passive window angle. Could give him 1, 2. No, he's only going to get the other one. Poppy's going to trade off another as well. That's going to restore that man advantage for them. But DT looking for one of his own, a little too wide in the open. He's not going to be able to counter that slide in. Come on, that's going to be just another weapon drop, but Crystal cleans things up.
LFF and Vanka were better than LF even last year, but somehow they choose LF. Oh no, what could happen last year?
One thing that you've noticed so far, Elevator, give me a little bit of an insight.
I love how people judge by looking at forlorn.
Was this the game plan to go at the start and play a little bit more slow, feel for information, or did you guys have a different, sort of style that you wanted to go with?
Yeah, I mean, Haven's just kind of a defaulty map in general. Like,
मार दे भाई उसने।
You can kind of gamble and just like
स्ट्रीम सच में लैग करी भाई इन बंदों
it's
के।
really one dimensional way to play, and so you got to be able to slow the tempo down, especially when the other team is on a comp that also kind of needs to play aggressive.
और वो है ना कस्टम्स चला रहा है वो।
The A take from Global Esports this time to deny any sort of control, but LF holding off of really aggressive angle.
तो तेरे उसमें होगा ना पार्टी में होगा।
Has the breach, taking the first contact. Not be the best of cases for him.
अरे मेरे में क्या है, ये बंदा
added
है जिसने कस्टम फोर्स की है।
And he's been undetected.
लेना क्या कर रहा है अभी?
Camera gets the info. All this time.
Big kill, big hope.
Hello, Cypher.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
he's gonna get a lot of it. That's alright. We're okay here.
अबे ये ट्रिप लग गई। ये उड़ोडान बहुत गलत ट्रिप लगाता है भाई।
Once again, but DC shuts down Yudo, and he puts on his own neural theft here to get a little bit more information. And G's been found. They've been exposed outside of C. And there's a connection. Crystal might be going down. He just about dodges and survives with his life. And once again, they're running outside A. Helev's hearing all of this, and he's
भाई
all
जल्दी
of Global Esports right now, heading towards A.
जल्दी पहुंचो जल्दी भाई जल्दी।
Quick flank. Crystal might be caught off guard here.
मरेगा ये मरेगा।
100%. Goodbye, Crystal. All right, 3v4, big conversion if we can get this.
DC.
Patrick.
Big flash by OG. They're gonna just
Oh shit यार, जो back in the game है ना वो actually
from strength here they're going.
मैं ही हूँ।
OG
अच्छा
seemingly right now
अच्छा
have been in control of most of these rounds. Of course, Global Esports are still, trying to figure out how exactly OG are playing with this new comp, but it almost seemed a little too, hasty, the decision to run towards A. Of course, time was, against them at that moment. Flash as well right there, just a second away before he could have peeked there, Poppy. But overall, OG seemed to be in good control here.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are being very good and proactive. I think GE is doing a pretty good job of position to like win rounds, but when they're not converting cleanly, we're definitely giving orangutan a lot of opportunities to come back into rounds.
Well, that's become a little scrappy. It's gone around. It's 3 versus 3 right now. First two came in for OG, but Poppy trades it instantly.
Poppy ने भाई दो
Still
मास
around the
निकाल
corner.
लिए।
He's got his ultimate as well. He can pop that lightning strike if he wants to. They're gonna hold on. The plant's gone down. Poppy under heaven. He's got no particular support. The smoke's gone up on heaven now, and the two players from OG from CT they come out, and Poppy's ready for it. Gets a third for himself. Yudo gets the fourth, and Crystal shuts it down. A bit of structured crossfires and
Contender learn English before hopping on YouTube.
Winning this round.
भाई ये बंदा YouTube पे
Not gonna lie, Kelly and Patrick going down the way they did, but Poppy once again coming up clutch for his team and securing the round with the 3K that he found.
See, I love this. We have
भाई
to set the table before the event
ये
started,
बंदा का
right? I told you that we like to
YouTube
do a
इसके
little bit of
पापा का है
trolling
क्या?
because we're kind of inexperienced, and Poppy is
Yep.
like that backstop. He's like, stop trolling, we're winning this round. So, do a little nice example of it
I
there.
think people don't understand why both team are
A
playing
little
on
bit of a
60 plus
straight up
ping.
walk-in as well from Techno,
दोनों
even
team
though
60
Hello
plus ping
did
पे
have
खेल रही
a
है भाई,
flash for
crazy.
Under Heaven. So a little bit of off decision making from OG there. I'm gonna go too far. Techno take the first contact now. That good amount of damage on Venka as well. He's got a 61 GE. Good utilization of their utility so far.
एक
Should be
shock dart और
Patrick's job to check that corner. Nah, Techno's going to take him out, and now Wenka might be in a good position to actually take out both these players. He's going to go out, find the first. He's not going to get the second, but Techno will finish out that kill. And G, once again, in a little bit of a tough spot here, walking up C long. And
OG playing 40 ms,
ready
G
for what
playing
OG had in
70
mind.
ms. इसको कैसे मालूम है?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what this round was. Like the disconnect
भाई
between the two
Radiant बड़ी
players
क्या
over
प्यारा
towards A
लगता है.
was way bigger than it should have been. So kind of just a poor round. To be honest. I'm sure this is one that we would note down in scrim. Would be like, let's talk about this one. Plot review.
Go off the magic and tap it first. Oh, a headshot is there. Be careful here. You could get lined up. Judo, he's got on 16 himself. This team is most of
Terra,
the
Don't peek it.
He's seen all three. There's no chance he's gonna get out of here. One bullet, one stray bullet through this spike. Nah, never mind. He's gonna get away and he's gonna save that weapon.
10 seconds left.
Lucky to be alive here, but give me a little bit of insight. What do you think happened there, LOA?
I mean,
save,
it was
yeah.
actually just a really good job from Anything with Techno. Techno's the one on the element, right? Yeah, he took the contact on long to disguise where the neon was.
टक्कर का मैच हो रहा है.
And won that duel straight up. He just kind of put down the first blood, and then that opened up the round for Venka.
I guess ये no delay में stream करना है, इसलिए थोड़ी सी lag मार रही है.
Up on C, honestly, that worked out really well for Anything, and DE was not ready for it.
Right there.
Still got a buy here, G. Poppy's the only one on a bit of a receded buy. He's got a sheriff. That's about it.
Champion contender and
Half
humble by
armors
tier
across
3
two players.
square.
It's going to be an extremely fast B hit, it seems. Yep. Patrick.
भाई तो चैंपियन कंटेंडर के टाइम पे टीममेट्स अलग अलग थे भाई. तुम क्या कंपेयर कर रहे हो? तुम टीम को कंपेयर कर रहे हो बंदे.
Keeping pretty much crossfire contact with Hello from both the links here. And GE instantly, after giving that initial sound, have just stopped in their tracks.
Yeah, honestly, this is a round that I would consider to be sort of like a discipline check.
Timing, ये timing भाई ये देख ये timing peak देने की bro ये timing. Valorant pure timing game है भाई pure timing.
Sort of like see whether teams are
देख लो.
disciplined or not. And Anything is doing a really good job of not fighting.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Okay, that was brilliant, but the trade-off is even better from GE. Patrick, check your corner! He stuns it, but he doesn't check it, but the trade's still there. It's a 2v2. He's got a one. BC gets the first. He throws in his own ult. Now, the neural thefts have been a menace for both teams here, but it's all
भाई corner check नहीं कर रहा भाई वो सच में
He's got a
W
recon
में.
coming in about 12 seconds now. Takes it off instantly, just kind of baits it out to force them to maybe push him some corners that they were not expecting. The recon's gonna find him. And now he's in trouble. They know exactly where he is, but he's got his own recon that's come up now. Focus more on the fight though. Gun's gonna make the difference here. He's gonna wrap them around. The timing's perfect for him.
Oh, भाई दोनों वहीं से.
He might not be ready for this. He could find both of them here. And he will find the timing on one.
Oh!
To clutch it out.
Not to brag.
Man,
भाई timing.
G are letting this come too close to my neck, man. I can feel it in my throat.
Yeah, I mean, OG is shooting really well. Like, you got to give them props. They're
Crazy
playing
भाई.
well. They're shooting back.
Patrick Y भाई Patrick Y.
You know, sometimes you got to win
Oh damn
rounds
ये सब भी होता है
in
क्या?
scrappy ways, and we've been pretty good at that so far this season in scrims. So I'm not surprised to see that happening now. Obviously, I would love to see this be a lot more one-sided. But I gotta say, you know, we're playing a little bit scared, and OG is playing very well right now.
Oriel, it's like my rank game.
On the fact that you guys are, this is your first game, right? And they've been playing.
भाई बंदा अपने rank game से compare कर रहा है.
they're kind of capitalizing on the fact that you can
मतलब
put
बोल सकते
pressure
हैं हाँ
on
रैंक
GE
गेम
right
से
now. They
कंपेयर कर
might be
सकते हैं वाले
susceptible
मैच
to
को
it.
भाई क्योंकि भाई
And
थ्रो
that's
हो
what
रहा है
they're
भाई
utilizing best. This time
आधे
around, they
टाइम
changed
बंदे
the
थ्रो
setup.
कर रहे हैं
They're playing a double heavy stack on B, and they've left a Cypher on DC.
टर्न
once
करके
again,
कॉर्नर
on
चेक
the
नहीं करना
backside. He's gonna be stunned. He's alive for the moment. Not gonna be flashed out here, but he's still alive. The smoke's gonna help him as well. And there goes Patrick. He gets deleted, and the trade-off is perfect. Global Esports still keeping equilibrium here. They're making sure that
पैट्रिक
they
इज
don't lose out to
इम्पोस्टर
players, and they've got the rolling thunder now.
एक बंदा लिया
The
बेकार
question is, are they
प्ले
expecting
है
this garage push right now?
बेकार
Or not?
भाई बंदे में कमेंट्स पढ़ने में मजा आता है भाई
Unable to trade there. Nobody was watching Garage. That's
Patrick hitting rag. Patrick
And now
why
we're playing
Patrick
solo. I like that.
वैंका भाई वैंका नियॉन बढ़िया खेल रहा है
They're going blow for blow. While OG's rounds have
एक
been
एक राउंड जी जीतती है एक
majority of
राउंड
the rounds
ओजी
have
जीतती
been
है एक
mostly
राउंड
for
जी
them,
जीतती है एक राउंड ओजी
exploring
जीतती
regions
है
together as a team.
भाई
They're moving in as a trio.
Crazy.
They've got support coming in the back of it. Global Esports are still finding their way in this game, which is absolutely fine. We've still got so much more to
नहीं
go. We've
पता
got a
और
full
रैंक
second half
से
waiting
कंपेयर
for
कर
us.
रहा अबे सुन
Still 5
मेन
and
अकाउंट
5
रैंक देख ले
though.
जाके ठीक है जिस दिन
Global
पहुंच गया ना
Esports,
उस
they
लेवल पे
need
तब
to
बोलियो
find themselves
ठीक है
a bit of a groove to catch on to,
सिल्वर लॉबी
because
तो टेंस भी नहीं जीत पाता कभी कभी
have been reading them
जाके
well
टेंस
when
की
it
स्ट्रीम
comes to
देख लियो
these
सिल्वर लॉबी
retakes.
वाली वो भी शौक
Yeah,
था
absolutely. I mean, like I said earlier, OG's doing a really
क्योंकि
good
सिल्वर
job
लोग
playing a
बिना दिमाग
proactive
के
game,
खेलते हैं
but not like too aggressively proactive. So they're playing a very solid game right now, going to the Howard.
Damn.
Different contact. A gonna be taken out here. Venka's gonna make sure that it did not exceed more than 1 kill from Global Esports. You
भाई
already walked in towards B as well. Poppy's gonna keep an eye out. He did
ये
use
बंदा
his
शॉट ही ले
ultimate,
गया
by the
है
way. Interesting choice to actually put it down here in this round. But hey, we've seen it happen, and Poppy's pretty much stuck in heaven now. He's been guarded from both
अबे
sides.
शॉट ही लेके स्टक है भाई
Impossible for him to get out of here. Oh, never mind. DC's actually gone away, so now he can make it work. Puts down a smoke as well for himself. Yudo's been found, and the spike is in pretty much half
He
the
just
world
has a
away from
shorty.
him.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky, Poppy. If he
Is
does
this something
any
you've
damage,
practiced before?
I'll give
Is
him
this a
props.
is this a round that you've practiced before, by the way?
I mean, it's just one of those things where Omen ulti, you gotta get value somehow. Usually it's like
ओ
30 seconds left.
like to
अब ये निकाल दे
catch
भाई
the spike, like get the spike after it's been dropped, or stick yourself in a weird spot. So yeah, I don't mind the call.
Yeah, Poppy's gonna be flanked.
He's dangerous. He's dangerous.
Open.
He's
ओ
dangerous.
एंटी भाई एंटी एंटी
He indeed is. Still gets 2 from that round. You said it's going to be a surprise even if he gets 1.
Last
But
round
Venka
before
kind of
the switch.
there is
unexpectedly
mindset
walked
difference
into his,
OG has
big
nothing
round
to lose
crosshair.
from this unlike G
Was taken out.
ये बात सही
Ryan's
बोलियो
hand
भाई
at the
थोड़ा
absolute
माइंडसेट
end
में
of this
प्रेशर है
first
भाई
half,
इनके कि
before
भाई अगर हम ये
6
हारे
before going into the second half, which
begin
is
the game
going to at least give them
35 की पिंग में खेल
a
रहा हूँ
bit of
अकेला
confidence saying that, you know what,
भाई
we won't be going down
पिंग
with a deficit into the
एडवांटेज
second
है इस
half.
पे
If anything,
पैट्रिक पे
we'll go in the positive. And
मेरे को
right
लगा
now,
नहीं
they're
होगी
looking to maybe
उल्टा
fight
एडवांटेज है
Garage
इस पे
because Venka's kind of situated there.
Yeah, this is a massive round. Lots of big ults online too.
गलती कर दी वैंका ने गलती कर दी ठीक
Venka
देखे
mistimed his swing out there, but
Okay.
only going to commit his
Okay.
Hunter's Fury. Does not connect on anybody.
किसी पे भी नहीं लगा भाई
It's
डन
gonna get rid of another ultimate. They do have a Rolling Thunder now. GE, pretty useful, of course, if they want to, take garage control.
Yeah, this is another
वो
one of
बंदा
those
पैट्रिक
rounds
भाई की
where
लिख रहा है भाई
it's sort of a discipline check, right? And this time Venka fails it. We'll see if GE can convert the man advantage with the 2 ultimates that they have, because not only did we get first blood, but we also got a big ultimate out of the way. So now it's really important that Udaton does not give up this advantage here, although he could get us a good information as well.
कॉर्नर चेक भाई कॉर्नर चेक भाई कॉर्नर चेक नहीं कर रहे एक भी बंदा भाई
Angle, they lose another player. Here. First player, actually. They're running to the side. The tricks been taken care of. Once come out of the side here. Patrick caught in a really weird tripwire there. Great setup from DC to
भाई क्या भागा है वो
great catch off, and Hello's come on the backstab as well.
LF ने
He's
हक
got
दिया
a flash. He doesn't need a real kick.
मिस हो गया भाई तगड़ा
He needs to set up his team, but the ultimate from Kelly S to stop the aggression coming in from CT has been perfect. That's going to hold off OG for a little longer, and now Hello basically in no man's land trying to find his own little success here. Not gonna be easy
Yeah, this
for
is
him
an
to win this.
awkward setup for.
Oh
awkward
shit
setup for
shit
GE.
shit भाई अबे नहीं
But
यार
still finds two. He's gonna jump down and find a third as well under. And GE.
जी
Yeah, like
क्या
you
कर
said,
रहे हो भाई
really weird setup. They were not in the right positions. Post-plant positions, clearly not exactly what they were hoping to,
अबे
situate
यार
themselves upon. And they were not, especially that trip, man. That trip was so unexpected. Patrick did not at all realize that there's going to be a trip that deep, and his own wall actually helped get his death confirmed there.
Yeah,
YouTube के chat बहुत
also,
toxic है भाई
Health did a great job on the flank.
वापस
Again,
चल
just
Twitch पे
orangutang's proactivity has been.
वापस Twitch पे चलो भाई YouTube की chat बहुत toxic है थोड़ी पढ़ी लिखी audience चाहिए भाई
As now we switch sides, Global Esports, they're looking to be a bit proactive themselves, the teams. They're going for an aggressive B hit. On control, but mostly on contact. They're going to hold on. But it is a heavy commitment. Yudo has gone pretty heavy outside garage here.
just have the mainstream in background while I watch League long
Right, stay back in garage, no pushing further. As now OG making a good read to go into the only site where
League on है वो इसलिए
Crystal spots one, but he's going to be stunned twice as well. The counter comes in, and Crystal still finds one. Pretty much done his job here. 4v4, and now it's retake territory for Global Esports.
भाई please Global Esports दिखाओ यार
Patrick,
Lots of damage on GE.
Yeah. OG's got
oh
one hit on another.
oh
As well. And this pistol round once again. OG in control. They were all on site. They were all just kind of coupled up together towards
भाई ये मैच तो गया शायद
But they were ready for every fight. They were ready for the flank as well. Patrick couldn't really do much on the flank, even though the distraction caused from the rest of his teammates was there. They were ready. Techno was, just basically stationed to say, you know what? He's going to come on the flank. You take care of only him. We'll do the rest.
Yeah, I mean, Crystal kind of played hero role for GE for a minute there, but Orangutang handled the retake really well.
ए पे अकेला छोड़ दिया उसे भाई गुस्सो ने
A similar setup here. This time around, they are more focused on C, Global Esports. There's Orangutan playing a bit of a default, holding on every angle, and they're just waiting for Global Esports to make their push. DC spots Yudo. He's a little antsy about peeking.
भाई क्या OG की टीम कॉर्नर चेक करी मेरे को ये देखना है
And GE have completely committed to the C site here, and it seems like they've made the wrong read. It is, of course, their eco, so it's not going to be too much of trouble. They could just go back and try to drop as many weapons as possible on the flank. But the biggest problem that's going to be for them is actually DC sitting outside garage. Free site available for OG. They're going to get the plant pretty much around as well, I presume. Unless, of course, a great flank comes in from Global Esports. Not going to be the case. DC doing a bit of an explorating mission here. He might just be able to find one. Nope, he just gets slapped right in the face.
भाई साहब
That's neon. That's neon for you. Question is, can we get more? No slide this time.
Oh, Venka, close angle. It's going to be easy for him to pick off at least two. He does give up.
Abe!
That was a little, I think he kind of fat fingered that. Shot it straight in the face. It's going to be one more. GE pulled it out of nothing. And oh my God, Patrick Cool. Patrick, what?
ये तो थ्रो हो गया
Hey man, anything you can do.
क्रेजी भाई ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स ना नाइस साउंड भाई वैसे ये थ्रो किया है ये बहुत क्रेजी थ्रो किया है लाइक कंप्लीट इको पे भाई
Really unfortunate.
Unlucky
But
for him.
the fact that G capitalized so quickly on just that one little, bullet push was incredible.
और टेक्नो पे फैंटम नहीं थी टेक्नो पे फैंटम थी पिस्टल से डैम क्रेजी ओडोटोन
And now it'll be interesting because a lot of times for like
tan है ना tan
it just takes like
ओडो
one
tan
round where they feel like
tan
oh
भाई
yeah,
क्या
I
बोलेंगे
can
इसको
just shoot these
इसमें भी
guys
कोई
right
वर्ड
now.
साइलेंट हो
I
मेरे को
mean,
मालूम
to be
नहीं
honest, Patrick has been a little bit more Patrick Y than Patrick How this game.
Yeah. Okay, what?
Maybe he just needs a round to wake up.
Yeah, probably that was the round as well. Hell of a little bit, question mark moment. They're just walking in with his knife towards the B-side, expecting nobody to actually be peeking that angle. Good aftershock does give a chunk of damage to Hope. He's got a 20, and Wenka doing exactly the same thing that Patrick did. gets one, but now it's on to Yuno to trade that back. He's giving a bunch of damage to himself. Both gonna be found here. GE flooding into the side from that A-link. They've gotten positions. They're gonna go stick on that DQ. And it's gonna be Patrick saying, I can do it as well.
यार बक्की चलानी चाहिए थी बैंका को, सही चला रहा था, भागते भागते सीधा मारता।
Kelly, but hey, they secure it really well.
साइफर फुल एचपी भी था, साइफर को बुलडॉग नहीं चाहिए थी।
And of course Patrick, like you said, Elevate, the minute that first round comes in where he can feel, okay, now I can start shooting, it seems like he's got
Damn, comeback है क्या? G comeback?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, again though, it's just every
G comeback है क्या?
It's starting to feel a little bit like that chamber meta. I'm telling you, it's like you cannot take eco rounds lightly. It's one gun, 800 credits.
मेरे को लग रहा है G comeback है।
Yep. It's a scary thing to have in the game right now.
Oh, they're going towards A this time to set up tier. Patrick still got the Guardian, but he's got his ultimate as well, and he's gonna trigger it out. Sekiro corner, Patrick again! He misses the corner, but Tekino will be taken out thanks to the aftershock. That was a great setup eventually. Even if he didn't take that corner, he was gonna get taken out there. And Global Esports' A hit has been successful, barring the two players that they've lost, and they've even got the spike in their hands at the moment.
Let's see how we want to play this one. Okay, we'll come in. 2v1.
Okay. Come back. Come back है राजे, come back है।
Came to join the fight and cleans it up.
Absolutely. It was man, you could see the minute they won that eco round, it's almost like they've turned up, you know, the velocity. It's gone straight up there.
मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आ रहा ओजी का कैमरा क्या दिखा रहे हैं।
So far these last 3 rounds. Once again,
कैमरा
Patrick
अटका हुआ है।
gave a little bit of an attention to his corner checking, even though it was covered off by LAS's aftershock. It's still something that needs to be, you know, making sure that he does it well. Once again, that A side, like I mentioned, OG love exploiting and working that A side both on their attack and defense. This time, they just walked in towards short here, and I'm not sure they're going to expect 5 here.
अबे स्ट्रीम हेलो भाई क्या हो गया? Okay.
Chaos off the sound. Okay, listen. I heard a shotgun. I'm pretty sure I heard Neon die. I'm not sure who's winning right now, but I'm gonna just guess.
Damn, मेरे को लगा मेरी स्ट्रीम अटक गई भाई। मतलब कास्टर्स की भी अटकी है।
Okay, who uses that skin?
Damn. भाई
We're not on. We're not heard, right?
Stream is back, भाई stream is back. YT पे देख, YT पे भी सेम ही हुआ शो होगा। शायद से पता नहीं।
Alright, apologies guys, a little bit of a moment there of technical issue, but we're back. We should be starting the game right off the bat, and as you can see, GE did win that last round.
Flawlessly, we heard. It looked dangerous, but it was a flawless victory, so we'll take it.
The obvious one.
Apologies from the production behalf, ladies and gentlemen, but we are set. It seems like Emmy has Fat Finger VMix there, but he's really sorry for it, and he's making sure that it continues on good pace now. As Global Esports 2 want to keep pressing on their pace, take a little bit of a info peek on towards outside garage, give a little bit of util, and that's going to pull off OG to actually come and re-clear that area. They've been doing
Last
that
round
really
G
well this
जीती
game
है.
as well. They've been on the re-clear for so long. And look at this, DC and Yudo, just standing right next to each other across walls there towards A short, waiting for the first one to make the move. As Global Esports now re-clearing the area that OG first went to, and this flank could be everything.
Yeah, there's a trip here. So as long as DC stays alive, this could be a very weird timing where if DC peaks and dies.
Oh no, it's gonna be Yudo who peeks and dies. He went to check it out because he thought he was gonna be hit, and OG worked that perfectly. Ready for the flank, ready for anything coming their way in this round.
एक round भाई OG, एक round G.
DC staying alive, like you mentioned, the longer he stayed alive, that tripwire was causing a nuisance to Global Esports. They had to break it, and the minute it was broken, they committed 3 players to go and make sure that the flank just was not going to amount to anything, and that's left Kelly alone now in this 1v4. He's gonna have to save this weapon, but this should give him a little bit more time to actually discuss what's going on. And I'm actually, curious if at all Juby's actually gonna call in a timeout anytime here. To maybe give a little bit of insight as to what he's seen that could be different, what they can do separately in the upcoming rounds.
Yeah, not sure honestly. I think really you just want to use timeouts if you
neck to neck competition होता है ना?
Or if you
neck to neck competition हो रहा है.
Talking about the right things. If he doesn't call a timeout, it must mean that the comms are fine. And yeah, I mean this is gonna be just kind of a grinder of a map. It looks like every round.
Careful there.
And just and the momentum swings are back and forth.
Absolutely. All 9 and 9 so far. A bunch of ultimates available on both sides here. Hunters 3 for both of them. It could be pretty much game changer. A once again taken control of by Global Esports here. Denied by just 1 flash and 1 stun. Patrick's gonna keep that in control alongside his teammate. As OG now explore garage, and they've got no tripwire stopping them, but there is a camera spotting their cross. Yudo, he has been really vital for his team so far. Needs 1 more round to maybe just go that way. Kelly, he's expecting to see hit. He's got his stun open. Gonna be jumping on the contact. The stun comes in, and there comes the Hunter 3 as well. Crystal connecting the first. Is not gonna get the connection.
भाई होप को ही मरवाता है.
We'll go down to Yudo's Vandal instead.
अबे लैग क्यों हो रही है? स्ट्रीम लैग हो रही है भाई.
Control initiator. The spikes down in a bit of an awkward position as well. So retrieving that's going to be priority. But they do have the Omen ult to secure it. So Techno's going to be able to pick it up.
ये शायद ना मैं बता सकता हूँ ये मल्टी स्ट्रीम जो एक्सटेंशन यूज करना है कि YouTube और उन सब पे एक साथ स्ट्रीम हो उसके जैसे भी हो सकता है.
You could have a crazy timing here.
YouTube और Twitch पे दोनों पे.
They seem to expect that somebody is probably playing long though. So
शायद से जो हिंदी वाली स्ट्रीम हो वो लैग ना कर रही हो क्योंकि वो अलग से स्ट्रीम हो रही है.
Venka's ultimate, and he's on heaven. He could cause a lot of trouble being in this position. It's all about checking it. They are going to check. The first peek comes through. Wenka's gone down to 47. The stun comes through. He's going to hold him out for a second, but he's going to have to just tuck in behind the green boxes. Recon's out. DC's been found. It's going to be a bit of a firefight here. Venka gets the first. He's still ready for it, and he gets Crystal at the right time. Global Esports crumbling to pressure.
Crazy round भाई, crazy round. मस्त भाई, मस्त heaven से जो कूदा है वेंका. Crazy. भाई.
Yeah, I think deservedly so. I mean, that was a round that Global should have won. Once Venka.
But neck to neck competition है भाई, जी भी टक्कर दे रही है भाई.
Down to 45 health. That should have been a pretty easy collapse. I think Poppy was a little bit late and long. And also
ये क्या यूज कर रहा है? ये आइस पैक है क्या? उसको पसीना आ रहा है वो आइस पैक पे लगा रहा है हाथ.
Very rare. So yeah, I mean, just kind of a couple of mistakes timing wise, and also just positioning, which is, you know, it's like basic stuff that you shouldn't really be doing, but these things happen, especially when the team is
crazy.
Global Esports.
मन करता है कैप पहन लूं, बट कैप पहन के ना ठंड में डैंड्रफ होता भाई.
Giving them instructions is going to be seen in the upcoming rounds. If they do have a buy, that's not going to be a problem. They've got the money for it. But if they end up, you know, kind of conceding in this, it's going to be a little bit trouble for the economy. 3 players, yep, they do have money. I think maybe one more round possible, but they should be looking at losing this round anyway, for that matter.
Hello.
hello.
And they've got a good set of ultimates as well to utilize in this round.
भाई नेक टू नेक कंपटीशन भाई, टक्कर एकदम बराबर.
भाई मेरे को पहले ही पता चल रहा है कौन जीत रहा है कौन हार.
तब ये क्या मतलब मेरे को लगा डोमिनेटिंग होगी भाई, ये तो बराबरी हो रही है.
Gonna keep control of B, but they're actually gonna walk out this time because no contact. DC holding a pretty passive position, just gonna make sure that Garage isn't being pushed upon.
भाई बट पुश कर रहे हैं, देखना अंदों की तरफ पुश कर रहे हैं. 2 बंदे.
अरे ये बिना कॉर्नर चेक किए जा रहे जी वाले आधे बंदे भाई. कॉर्नर चेक ही नहीं बिल्कुल.
इसने मेरे को क्या बोला था, ऋषि ने क्या बोला था कि भाई हम लोग वही करेंगे जो प्रैक्टिस मैच में करते हैं पूरा भाई की. अभी देख वो पोस्ट करके बैठ गया है वो नियॉन, और नियॉन के अल्टे वहां से 1 सेकंड में बाहर निकलेगा वो. ये देख रहा देख गया वो भाई अभी भागेगा.
टाइमिंग भाई, लेकिन पिंग एडवांटेज है इस पे
जी पे ना.
हैं जी के एक ही बंदे पे अकेले पे ये जो है नियॉन पैट्रिक वो. लेकिन ये तब भी भाई वैंका डोमिनेट कर रहा है भाई नियॉन लेके.
वैंका है भाई.
Here comes the ultimate, and now Patrick's job to actually get in and force them out of this. The floods come in, but the flash is amazing from Tekno. Yudo caught out of the open. DC's gonna find him for a garage. 1-for-1, the trades are going in, but GE ready for everything. As they run into the side, forced to spike.
पता नहीं क्या बसड़ मची उसको हुआ.
Is against OG here. They cannot do anything.
अबे अंधा किया, कैपिटलाइज तो करो.
Really see what literally was happening on that B side. But
yeah. The crucial thing was that the spike was stopped from being planted, because after the breach ult, Omen still got in there and looked like Tekno was trying to plant, or not Tekno, sorry, somebody else was trying to plant.
ये तेरा नीचे स्क्रीन नीचे करना थोड़ी.
अच्छा इसका ही है. Went down, and at that point the round kind of became irrecoverable. But that's a massive round for GE. Obviously investing the breach ult there, but getting the 100
भाई मेरे में बंदा आया कहाँ से मेरे को तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है.
Yeah, absolutely.
कौन सा?
अरे मेरे में एक बंदा है जो ये जी की रियल अभी चल रही है ना,
वो वाला बंदा कहाँ से है वो बुलाने.
पता नहीं कहाँ से है. Nephilius नाम है उसका.
While Euros push, of course, did give them quite a bit of information. I think that was actually what won them the round. If you know,
friend है मेरे में.
Because if he hadn't pushed out C, they would have still been confused about whether or not this is going to be, you know, an open hit on any part of the map.
एम के लिए खेलते ही है ना ये लोग. ये कुछ भी
OG
नहीं है, वो फिर भी दूर खेल रहे हैं.
Pretty convincingly.
उसको देखा कर कौन है, वीमन वन इन सबको देखा कर, टेंस को देखा कर.
Aftershock to stop them, but it's not going.
अरे टेंस क्या एक वो कौन सा बंदा है जो पूरा मॉनिटर में घुस के खेलता है.
He cleared the left hand, but the rolling thunder comes in to stop this flank, and OG now need to push in CT. Yudo's going to get one, but that's the only trade. 4-man flank. Can they actually make this retake
पूरा बैक स्टेप पे ही तो गेम चालू है.
वैंका ने एडीएस कर दिया.
They need to get in, start defusing here soon.
Oh, nice.
Last player standing. Caught at the outside position. He wasn't in the right angle. Incredibly patient there to make sure that they don't really lose players on that flank.
4 सेकंड अगर ओजी होल्ड कर लेती तो ओजी के पास राउंड आता. बट जी आ गए.
That is like vintage Patrick Hu right there.
Hello.
That's what we want to see from him more often.
Yes.
It's like really well controlled aggression. Like he's taking space from them. He's putting tons of pressure, but he's not going too far. And it's a really, really fine line to tread. And you know, for an 18-year-old, it's definitely something that he's going to have to like constantly work on this year. But that was a great example of what he can do as a player.
Absolutely. Yudo waiting for the camera to be popped in from DC, but it's not going to be the case. You're just going to walk out towards Garage. It seems like they're going to set up Wenka to actually slide in, while GE have completely cleared off a main. Yudo, easy get away. There comes the ultimate, but he's going to be caught out. Wenka too quick.
That ult, man.
Broken
that
indeed.
ult, man. Just insta-gives him after the classic shot. Alright, we're gonna have to scrap for another one. Crystal's low too. Not looking good for GE.
Good decision for them to kind of wait out for Wenka's ult to actually kind of expire. Stun's gonna hold them back just a little bit longer. Utility being put down here, but Wenka, he's been stunned. Default outside, recon perfect. Techno
Crazy.
trade though. Wenka still finds
Crazy.
one, and GE
Oh.
just not in the right position to find those trades for themselves. Somehow Wenka was stunned, recon, and he still got away with one kill there. That was not supposed to happen.
Yeah, great timing by Techno. I mean, he just hit the time perfectly, came out one tap, and that was kind of the round because he broke up the retake at just the perfect time.
Well,
listen,
yeah,
I'll take a long map one. We need as much practice as we can get. We have
ये बैच क्या है? ये बैच मेरे को Destiny 2 का बैच भाई, ये बैच मेरे को
you know, give us more rounds. Give us more rounds.
तो ये कौन सा बैच है? 2023 मेरे पे कोई बैच नहीं है क्या? मेरी प्रोफाइल कहाँ है?
But hey, it's of course this is not the end of it, right?
मेरे पे कोई बैच क्यों नहीं है? मेरे को कोई बैच चाहिए। नहीं, अलग-अलग बैच। Twitch verified user। ओ ये कोई Twitch streamer है स्टिक्सी।
देख ले।
मिस्टर अजय इस पे बंदा भेजा है। Arcane Season 2 Premier। अच्छा ये तो वो है। मिस्टर आरजे तो वही है जिसने मेरे को अभी रोल दिया था डिस्कॉर्ड पे जी के।
You know, run into the B side because they need now form of map control, having lost DC. And Venka, a little too aggressive, but he's ready for it. Saw the knee. LES gonna be taken out, and that's gonna be the trade that they needed.
Another scrappy round here. Good playmaking by Venka to capitalize.
ये OG का पुश भी सही है।
But Venka was too fast. And he's
दोनों aggressive खेलते हैं। कितना 30 सेकंड में प्लांट, 25 सेकंड में प्लांट।
Oh, here we go. We've got Patrick with his own ultimate here. Yugo's taking out Hella.
Oh damn.
He takes him out. The
Oh damn.
amazing, but he's gonna get traded off.
Techno भाई।
Wants to secure this round no matter what. He's got Crystal to support him. Close recon clears it out, but Hoax is on the lower end of the map here. Sun's gonna prevent them. They're going out for the fight here. Venka gets traded out. Crystal with the
almost with भाई।
These rounds, hey, I'm just. This is the first game, first map of the first, you know, first time this team's playing, and I'm already stressed out.
जीतेगी।
I mean, strap in. Strap in. This is gonna be a long season.
Well, I hope it is, man. I hope we play more than just, you know, the regular season games. I want to be more stressed, you know, if we're going to Masters. I would love to be stressed at Masters or at Champions. That's where we want to be stressed. But yeah, timeout here from OG. Great. Honestly, they did a good job of getting the trades that they did. But that final clutch from Crystal was everything. Hoax maybe should have stood and fought there. I'm not sure why he decided to just kind of walk away into the cubby corner. And that kind of actually gave Crystal what he needed, the perfect fight against Venka, and then a retreating Hoax that he killed off right in transition. And now match point for GE.
I would run away from Crystal too. Apparently this guy was like #2 ranked Muay Thai fighter of his age group in like all of Russia or something like that. Apparently, yeah, he's supposed to be a beast at throwing fists. So I can't fault, you know, Orangutan for trying to duck and hide there at the end.
I'm out of here. Well, fair enough. I'm gonna make sure I avoid any you know, words around Crystal. He's the GOAT, simple as that, Crystal.
Like crucial round है जी।
You are the GOAT. I would love an autograph. Please don't punch me if I say something about your place. Interesting turnaround here. C side being printed this time. And OG in a bit of a weird vibe. Of course, it is the last round. They didn't really have it.
Spike down.
There is the first pick.
Spike down.
Spike's been picked up, but just about a second. Patrick could not manage that kill there, but that's forced OG to run into the A side where they've got Uro and Poppy waiting for them. He's gonna be stunned, gets away from it as well. Doesn't need to come in any shot at steps. Now he will. But OG really keen on pushing this corner, it seems.
Yeah, this is a nice force call. Sort of like trying to force him into a trap.
Nice, जीत गए.
Numbers advantage for GE is the
नहीं अच्छा खेल रहा सैफर.
Patrick was on the flank. As soon as Nirmal revealed him, he decided to just trail back towards A-Link. But the spike is actually traveling towards C right, and they're going to just let DC do all the dirty work, but they've not spotted him. They've actually not spotted him. Yeah. He's going to peek out. Oh my God, DC. Okay, I really didn't expect him to win that duel, but that makes it a 2v2. And it's going to open up the C side. This confirms for GE that 100% is going to be the A hit, but no, DC's gotten away. And Hell of will get a free plant here. It's going to be a retake on the opposite side of Haven for Global Esports to secure map 1.
Yeah, all right, let's see. Kellyus and Crystal were the first sort of like duo that Juvenile and I made play together when we first started the team. They were like week 1, and these guys were duo queuing. So let's see if they've got the magic.
They do have a lot of util. They've got a bunch of stuff available for Kellyus. They cleared off the site pretty much completely. So now this is confirmed either garage or long. Tap, making sure that they clear it. Cubby, stun from Hella. He's going to swing out of the back of that. It's going to be a 1v1 now. It's a Cypher against the Breach. The stun is perfect. It's not going to give him anything more. He can at least half defuse this. He's going to take the fight. Kellyus to clutch it out.
Oh, let's go.
GG. 13 for GE. It came down all the way to the wire, but map 1, as long as it could be pulled, regulation was played out completely as Global Esports will secure Haven.
Hey, let's go. We'll take our first official map win. It was not the cleanest game I've ever seen, but at the same time, it's still a W, and that means that we're up 1 map, which means that we have the opportunity to kind of close this one out as a clean 2-0.
Vanguard dominate किया भाई. Vanguard top पे है. First blood नहीं है, but Vanguard top पे है.
That with the kills on the Neon, but overall, all of OG played quite well. Like I said, their proactivity was really nice. They were definitely catching GE sleeping quite a bit. And so I think we have to be ready for that going forward in the series. You know, can't sleep on this team at all.
Era Nephilius आ रहा है. D Nephilius.
Things that you could take away from this game is that when we look at the scoreboard, right? You saw, you know, there were G players at the top. Just Wenka, of course, he's on the top. The rest of the G team was actually doing well. But it goes to the fact to show that, you know, the kills for the first, you know, probably first 15 rounds were not as effective for Global Esports, whereas OG were really solidly playing as a team, at least in that first half. Even in the second, they set up Benka for great duels. He was doing all the brunt work for them, even though he actually had no first bloods in this game, which is kind of surprising to me.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
A lot of the work, of course, seems to be done by Techno and DC, the only players who actually gotten the first bloods for their team. You know, but it's actually surprising when you look at the scoreboard, and if you didn't see the actual score of the game, you would actually think that G won this on a more, you know, stronger level. It seems like it will be a 13-7 game, considering they've got 4 players, you know, getting the number of kills that they've got.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely quite a few mistakes from GE. Obviously, winning 16 out of the first duels and only winning 13 rounds is not great as far as the conversion goes. But
live देख रहा क्या? हाँ, इस पर
live
भाई.
Lots of sort of like small moments and timings that were taken that pulled the momentum one way or the other. We saw multiple thrifties. We saw a lot of rounds that were looking like they were going to go one way, and then one player would make a really nice play to pull it back the other way. So yeah, it makes me excited for map 2. I mean, it's going to be probably a similar type of game, right? Because Sunset is a very well-known map at this point. A lot of the comps are very similar. It's going to be another map where you got a default.
इन्होंने फेस ऑफ को स्ट्रीमर का बना रखा है वो डैम चैनल, वॉइस चैनल, वहाँ पे बाकियों के साथ बैठ के कर सकता हूँ मैं बाकी स्ट्रीमर के साथ.
करना फिर.
कोई बैठे ही नहीं ना लेकिन वीसी में, बाकी स्ट्रीमर सब अपने में कर रहे हैं.
Sunset, we've got it, of course, coming up next. You know, honestly, even though, you know, Global Esports did win this game, and they might have momentum going into the second one, maybe, you know, to kind of pick it up a lot more, give themselves
आखिर में
more,
रेड वेड मार
leeway
के
to
जाएगा,
be
1000 सब्सक्राइबर हो जाएंगे तेरे।
more
फिर
proactive.
वॉच आवर्स
But
कितने होंगे?
I seriously
वॉच
do
आवर
believe
3000
that this
प्लस है।
game is gonna give us a bit more
बाकी
of
वो
a
बाकी
fight.
उस पे
We
भी
see a
बनाने
war
पड़ेंगे ना
between these
देखो।
two teams because it's been honestly
शॉर्ट्स भी बनाने पड़ेंगे ना।
entertaining, right? It's been
नहीं
really
शॉर्ट्स बनाना
entertaining between
जरूरी
these
नहीं
two
है।
teams. A lot
अरे
of
तो
what
85,000
OG have
व्यूअर्स
been
चाहिए ना, तो
doing
कुछ तो भी है।
has actually
हाँ
challenged
नहीं
global esports in a good way to
उसे
खाली
नहीं
4000
या तो
rectify those
4000
things when
वॉच
you
आवर
actually check
चाहिए
these games afterwards.
या फिर
हाँ
तुम्हारे 10
Yeah,
मिलियन
I mean,
वो
at the end of the day,
अच्छा
like the
उनमें से
only
कोई
thing
एक
that
चीज कर
matters
लो।
to
तो
me
मेरे तो वॉच
and
आवर
to
हो रखे
Juvenile
हैं, तो मैं
and to the
क्यों करूँ
team
10 मिलियन
is
शॉर्ट्स व्यू।
winning during the
बाकी खाली
season,
1000
right?
सब्स
I
चाहिए,
know that
फिर
it's
तेरा
like
गेम
obviously
हो
we
जाएगा।
want to win every match. We want to win these matches.
Yep.
We don't want. I mean, I'm just going to be straight up. We don't want to be the team that came out and
पिंग्स
picked
कर रहा
no
सिर्फ
Indian
फेस ऑफ
players and
पार्टी
then lose to an Indian team. That's not a
और
good look
होंगे
for us,
वो
right?
इनके
I can be
सक्सेस।
very honest with you guys.
और कौन कर रहा है
And
फेस
so
ऑफ?
we, especially because we trialed Venka, we trialed Techno, right? Like we picked people over
स्लीगी
them,
स्लीगी
right,
कौन
for
है?
this team, and so if they beat us,
पता
it's not a
नहीं।
good look.
स्लीगी की बातें बहुत करते बंदे चैट
And I
में।
can be honest about that, but at the same time,
उसको पूछ
the results of this have zero bearing
कितना है
on
उसके सब्स
what our
कितने?
year is going to be,
812।
right?
Absolutely,
And
I
so
agree.
every have
अच्छा हाँ
zero bearing on
ये
what our year is
अंग्रेज
going
है
to be,
साला।
right?
Absolutely,
And
I
so
agree.
ये इसका
every game
है
is just
अपना
an opportunity to win
EMA का है ना, हेड कोच
Well,
है
let's
स्पॉइल
have
तो
a
भी
look
टीम का।
and hear from the coach himself.
अच्छा
GPay, what are your thoughts about this game?
तो
Please
एक्स हेड
tell
कोच
us,
है, हेड कोच
what
है,
do you
इतना
think?
पता है।
Yeah, man, it was obviously a close match. You know, first game jitters, stuff like that. But you know, dub's dub,
यहाँ
bro.
पे
I don't
देखते
really
हैं
care
ना,
how you get the dub as long as you win, bro.
वॉच
I'll tell you
पार्टी
right now,
काम
when
कर
the
रहा है
record in the season, if we get a
GG।
win, you know, 2-1, it's 16, 18 every single match. You know, no one's gonna care as long as the record says W.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
There were a lot of times though, we
तेरा
noticed that
थर्ड आ रहा
the
है।
team, even though they were getting the frags that they were
GE
supposed
वॉच
to,
पार्टी में
they
तेरा
were
थर्ड
caught
आ
out
रहा
of
है।
positions at times where OG kind of forcefully put them in.
आँख
Did you
मेरे को
expect it
दिखी
to be
नहीं,
this
मेरे को तो बंद
proactive,
होगा।
be this aggressive, and kind of push you back?
एक ये भी कर रहा है,
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I watched their
डैब
matches
गेमिंग
beforehand,
कर
and
रहा
I mean,
है,
they're obviously good, man. They play the right way, they do the right things. Okay, I'm
वेंडेकल
telling you,
भी
just from
कर
watching
रहा
one
है,
icebox, I can tell you that they're an organized team. Like whoever their
5
coach
लोग ही
is,
कर रहे
definitely
हैं।
understands the game, and they understand the game as a whole. But end of the day, yeah, man, like you know, we talked about this already pregame. Gen G only beat R&T 13-10. So if
अर्श
we win
खेल
this
रहे नहीं कर रहा
17-11
क्या?
at the end of the season, we make 2
नहीं
Masters
नहीं
or
कर रहा वो,
champions. I'm good, bro. You know, I don't
तो
care about
राइट्स
the
के लिए
off
मैं भी
season
अप्लाई नहीं किया
13-11.
होगा।
You know.
Fair enough, fair enough.
What did you what did you say in that timeout?
अप्लाई
'Cause,
करना था ना, बस ओपन
yeah,
अप्लाई था
Switch
भाई,
got
जो
flipped
अप्लाई
a little
करेगा
bit after
करेगा।
that one.
To stop, to just play aggressive.
आज 800
Stop being,
1100
stop being afraid to be aggressive.
All right. I mean,
And
it kind of worked out, didn't it?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
who
we
called
definitely
that
started
last
playing more
round? That
confident.
last round was nice.
That last time was okay. We called time. They had a timeout, right? So the right before then, yeah, I called to do the whatchamacallit play. You know, our slide play.
We just called that. That'll be the name of it. WATCHPARTY play.
Yeah, I mean, I told you I'm bad with names, even strat names. They knew what I meant, and they ran it the right way. We did good. Everything worked out perfect. And so yeah, it was good.
All right. Well, we've got another map coming up, Sunset.
SEKIRO.
Maybe they're going to be playing the Neon once again. I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to have a quick look at what they have recently played. They've got an interesting comp as well. I think actually it's a pretty much exact same comp. They're going to be playing the Breach, Neon, Cypher, Omen. So that's the last one they played in the previous.
Ododon lost to Crystal in Ascension, China, worst region.
Are you ready for them to be the same proactive OG self, or are you guys going to
नहीं चैंपियन था वो, चैंपियन था ना
Ascension
First off, I don't trust anything you say anymore because you told me they play Fnatic comp, and there was not Fnatic comp. But no, in all reality, I expect them to play the same meta comp because that's that is the meta. And I think we're gonna be playing.
Papi lost to Riddle Order, Kalius, Yokam lost to their region. Ododon is God though.
But I think we'll be playing better on the Sunset, and I think hopefully make the fans happy.
Well, we're waiting for the same as well.
The worst region wants champs, my friend.
Tell me one good
तू
thing
है ना
that
इसके भी वॉच पार्टी अभी ले सकता है, इनको पूछ के।
किसके? VCT के?
हाँ, इसको रिक्वेस्ट कर।
Bro, I'll tell you right now, Hoax impressed the heck out of me. I thought Hoax was very good.
VCT राइट तो वही देता है, राइट ये थोड़ी दे पाएंगे।
अरे राइट तेरे को बात तो करके दे सकता है ना।
Yeah, I think
एटलीस्ट ये VCFLA का तो तू लेना।
हाँ, यहाँ का
इंडिया का तो ले।
इंडिया के रीजन का ले ही सकता हूँ।
हाँ, इंडिया का तो अभी तेरे को ये लोग आराम से दे देंगे। VCT का भी ट्राई कर।
Right.
Tell Crystal nice clutch.
Yeah, nice clutch.
He saved us. He saved us there, bro. He saved. Not gonna lie, he saved us.
Hopefully, these kind of situations don't pop up too often where we're gonna need one player to end, stand up and clutch. But Elevate,
और ये बंदे की इंग्लिश कितनी क्रेजी है यूनिवर्स, लेकिन ऐसा लग नहीं रहा इसका वेबकैम देख के जैसे ये बोल रहा हूँ।
because they were caught out in positions where OG were peeking out at the right time to
मतलब
actually find them off guard. Like
इंग्लिश इसकी इतनी स्मूथ, एक्सेंट वगैरह फुल।
called out the timeout.
अच्छा बोल
When
रहा है।
I think it was Patrick as well as Crystal who were caught off guard on Heaven with Venka taking that double kill. A lot of these times, Patrick also went without checking corners. So what are some things that you saw in this game that you think need to be fixed, apart from, of course, the corner checking?
Definitely. You're elevated.
And that's for elevated.
Elevated.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, listen, I kept saying this during the cast. Patrick, who is he's a noob. He's an absolute noob, and he's gonna have to make a bunch of mistakes and learn from them, and that's just how it is. Like we saw some moments of brilliance from him as well. His movement is so crazy on the neon. He's doing a lot of crazy things for us, and he's fearless no matter what. Sometimes he's too fearless, and he's got to figure out where that line is.
Coach, we spoke about this, Juvie, as well, right? When we were having a conversation, you told me that Patrick, he's got that potential, but slight bit of tweaks here and there. Have you got somebody in game, like, kind of who's looking after him? Have you, told somebody like Poppy or Crystal, you know what, just kind of, just stay along with him, be a buddy system for him? Or is Patrick allowed to do what he wants and he kind of tell the team?
It's a little bit of Cali sort of directing him, and then in general, like this goes for anybody on any team. Like you follow the blue-haired character, just stay next to the blue-haired character. Where he goes, you go, and that goes for our entire team. And that's how the scaling, trading, all that stuff needs to work. But yeah, it was not clean play. But at the end of the day, like I said, man, like a dub's a dub. I honestly do not care if it was 13-11 or 13-3. It makes no difference to me.
Fair enough. All right, and now that we're heading on to Sunset. Are you confident that you're going to finish this off a 2-0, or are we going to see Pearl? Do you want to see Pearl?
2-0. I think it's going to 2-0.
All right.
And as I said, I think you'll see a better GE on this map. First map, this is the first time we've played together in any kind of official, and even though it's not super duper official, this is the first time any kind of official we've been inside of, and first game jitters is always a normal thing.
Agreed, absolutely. Thank you, Juvie, so much for joining us. We're going to let you get back to the team. All the best for Sunset.
Bye,
Let's
guys.
go.
See ya.
Well, Elevated, that was, I would say it was, a difficult game to watch, especially if you were hoping for G to kind of, do wonders here. But hey, like he said, 13-11, 13-1 doesn't matter. It is the first game as well. Literally the first ever time somebody's seeing these 5 players play together, on the big screen, especially, of course, with all the stuff that's happening around them. Sunset, what are your thoughts? Do you expect GE to close it out here?
Yeah, I think we will. We've played a lot of Sunset. It's a map again that I think everybody understands how to play at this point. And I think it's a map that again kind of comes down to like very similar play patterns to what we just saw in Haven, right? Like it's the A shutdown, and then you've got the anchor on B a lot of the time. The B post plant stuff is definitely worse than it used to be, which is a good thing, but it still kind of exists. And yeah, I mean, it's a map that I've seen a huge amount of impact from Crystal on. I think that Crystal and Patrick Hu are going to be my impact players in this map.
Well, we're going to find out, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading into Sunset in just a couple of seconds. The agent select is going to be coming up as we speak, because we're going to see if OG, are they going to stick true to their word as they did before? Because last time they've played, hey, in my defense, they've played that, Fnatic comp quite a few times, all right? I didn't know they're going to be throwing a curveball, right? Could be maybe.
कर दो भाई सेकंड मैच चालू.
What have OG got in store for us here?
Sunset, let's go.
I think it's going to be another mirror match, to be honest. Although maybe we'll see the KO instead of the breach. But I think
Tova Omen, Cypher Neon.
I mean, they've messed around. They've messed around with the
Cypher
KO.
Neon यहाँ भी हो गया. Let's go.
And I think Hello's probably gonna go for the breach itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a good comp on the map. Obviously, Neon's crazy, and Breach is a good enabler. So it was a good enabler for Neon as well. And then Omen and Cypher are just the best in slot in their particular roles. I think that, again, like most meta comps, there's ways to attack this, but
same team, bhai, same team.
State. I mean, I personally, I like broken things. I think it's fun to play around with them in the meta, but when you've got a really strong character, you should just run the character a lot of the time.
Absolutely. What do you feel about ISO? Do you feel like ISO is still, kind of viable, or is he kind of, just kind of washed into the background? He had a really small meta era. Now he's, he's kind of being picked a little more or less. What do you feel about ISO?
So I think the main thing is that every agent is viable in certain situations. I just think that what you give up by playing an ISO currently is too much on most maps.
Apex team who qualified in Master and Channel also from top 3 top 4.
30 kills.
So but if you started towards on it might be hard.
You have to get 30 kills in
If
ISO,
performed.
otherwise I'd rather play a different agent.
Fair enough. Well, we're heading into sunset, and you just mentioned
Kelly's का 687 level है और वहाँ के टेक्नो का 909 level भाई साहब.
What do you feel about that entire change? You've got those boxes set up, which creates a lot more angles to check when you're coming on the retake, and stuff like that. The plant has been made a little bit easier. It's a little more safer to get that plant down every time when you want to go to default. When it first came out, when you first saw it, what was your initial thought? What did you think about? How could it be played around? Is it more defensive friendly or is it more attack friendly still?
It's definitely defensive friendly, just because the attackers have to plant in a worse spot, and they're incentivized to play more on site, which on this map in the current meta is not great because you just get absolutely annihilated by utility when people retake. I think that. I mean, it's good. I kind of don't like this map, if I'm being honest. Like, at first I liked this map quite a bit, but now I feel like it's getting a little bit stale, and the play patterns are not that fun. I think that middle is kind of useless a lot of the time, and I like basically. Here's the thing: if you see a team constantly splitting through market, they're probably going to lose the map. Is basically what I've come to realize. If a team is constantly splitting through market, they're probably getting rolled. And so it's really like all about how you play around like the B main and A main control, and then utilize mid to some extent, but you can't rely on mid too much.
Do you feel like the current comp that both these teams are playing? You're the one who has a look at the win rate percentage. Have you seen any other comp be good at this map except for what we're seeing right now? What would you tweak or change in these 5 agents?
So I haven't looked at win rates since the Neon buffs, and that's sort of like the big gravitational pull in the meta right now.
भाई
So,
मैंने
you know,
2000
I know there's other good comps, like you can play
कभी
Viper
मैं
on this
बता रहा हूँ
map, you can play Harbor on this
2018-19
map, you
में
can
2
play
कंपनियां
Astra,
ज्वाइन की थी
you can play
तो उनका मैंने
Sage,
इनको
like we saw
रिवीलिंग लेटर
Paper
वगैरह
X do
सब
some
दे
cool
दिया है
stuff on
ठीक
this
है
map. They were
मतलब
the best
एक्सपीरियंस
Sunset
लेटर
team all of last year. They were playing KO and
तो
Sage
अभी ये
and
लोग
some
बोल
weird
रहे तेरा
stuff, and
पीएफ
so
कटा
I
है मैंने
assume
बोला
that
हाँ
would
पीएफ
probably
कटा
still
है
work also.
तो अभी बोल रहे कि
But
पीएफ
the
कटा है
main
ना तो
thing is
हमको उसका
that
प्रूफ
I think
चाहिए
Raze is
कि
probably in the
भाई
weakest state she's ever
तेरा
been in,
यूएन नंबर अलग
and
था
Neon is in the
तो
strongest
मैंने
state she's
बोला
ever been
यूएन
in,
नंबर अलग होगा मेरे को
and
याद
both
नहीं है
agents are very
तो
good
बोलते
on
अभी
a map
यूएन
like
नंबर
this,
तेरा
where
अलग है हमको वो शो
utility
नहीं
can
कर रहा
like
है
take up a
तो
huge
मैंने
chunk
बोला
of
भाई
the
कि मैंने
games,
अपना स्क्रीनशॉट
and
दिया है अपने ईपीएफओ का
get value a lot of
जो
the time
है वही
that
है
you
हिस्ट्री
throw it.
दिखा रहा है उसमें भाई कि मेरा यहाँ से
But yeah,
कटा
I mean,
है
there's
पीएफ
dude,
तो
there's
तुम वहां से लो
there's
ना
so many
तो बोलते नहीं
possibilities on every map because
हमको है ना
there's so
बैंक
many pieces
स्टेटमेंट
that you
चाहिए
can use. Like I would love
अभी
to see
वो
some team run your on this map. I'd love
2018-19
to
की
see some
बैंक
Chamber on
स्टेटमेंट
this
चाहिए अभी
map.
मैंने यहाँ पे एसबीआई
I'd
में
love to
लॉगिन
see
किया नेट
again
बैंकिंग में
some Viper.
भाई
Like we haven't seen Viper in
है
a
कि
while.
नहीं
I
है
feel like Viper's really kind of fallen
तो
out of the meta, even though she's not
देखा
bad.
मैंने जाके तो 2021
And
के पहले
you
ना
know,
नेट बैंकिंग ही हम
Astra
लोग
got a 5th
डाउनलोड नहीं कर
star, so
सकते
Astra's got to be good now.
बता अब मैं क्या करूं
Absolutely. I on me personally, I love Astra. I think
वो
it's
तो
a really unique agent. It's a
भाई
really
खुद नहीं करती
great
ना
skill
एक तो
set.
उन्हें
That you need to
कंपनीज
hone yourself around. round.
अभी
You
मैं
need to
पहले जब
find so
ईक्लक्स में
much.
था
You can do so much with
इन
Astra.
चूतियों ने
It's
क्या
almost,
बोला कि
like
भाई
you've got
तू
a third
अपने को
initiator
वो दे
to play in. But hey, all that
अपना
talk can
ये
be
दे
saved for later.
क्या
So
बोलते
right now
हैं
we've got Mirror Comps as the
ईक्लक्स
games
में तूने
big
ना
on,
तेरा
ladies and
पीएस नहीं
gentlemen.
कटा है
It's
ना
going to be Global
तो
Esports
फिर
and
से फोन
Attack
है उसका
once
रुक
again as they
या
will
मैम
be fighting for a 2-0. At the moment,
सॉरी
seems like a bit of a default. They're kind of spread out towards both
श्योर
A and
लेट
B.
मी
The tunnel seemingly
जॉइन द लिंक
to be the point where they want to first give up a bit of contact. Recon
फोन
from
क्यों
Crystal
कट गया
towards
अभी
B
तक
main
की
does
कहानी
give in a bit of sound.
हैंड वार्मर ये बंदा बोल रहा है हैंड वार्मर का पैकेट का आता है क्या है
Toughens him up a bit, but that
वो तो थैली नहीं होती पूरी बड़ी सी
and they're gonna run
वो
straight
तो
in.
छोटा सा पैकेट है
Oh my god.
ओ क्रेजी वो स्टन में दो बंदे तीन बंदे मार गया
The counter stun from Helef was absolutely maniacal. It got everybody, and the rest was just hoax to get a 3K for clean.
Like I said, I repeat this hopefully never again while GE is playing. If a team is constantly splitting through market, they're probably not going to win this map. It is what it is. It's a tough. It's like the tiniest choke point on the entire map, and the other team has 2 stuns.
Yeah, Crystal's the only one left. He's going to be stunned as well. There comes the flank. He's going to get at least one. That's all they find this round, Global Esports, apart from damage being dealt. But that round was really well read from OG. They were almost ready for it. They knew exactly what was going to happen the minute they saw G going to be entering in market. It was that stun was ready from Helef to just support his team. He got 5 assists in the first round itself.
Man, it's a good thing that assists don't count towards Aorus. That would be a nightmare for GE if Helef had gotten as much impact as he actually
Hi
did
ma'am
in that round.
yeah sure
True. Well, Manga keen on deleting any sort of
my
control
screen is
from
visible
Global Esports, but this one-way smoke's going to hold him off as Global Esports keen to actually regain that. The stun goes through, and that's going to allow Patrick to kind of get in towards elbow. He does have only a frenzy, no bucket to this time kind of slide into their faces and one-tap them, as Venka's going to hold on to this elbow angle, and he's ready for the fight.
Pre-round he had the Bucky. But he was not going to have enough to buy in the next one, so...
ओनी फ्रेंजी क्रेजी लग रही है भाई वो बॉडी के साथ वो जो बुलेट ड्रॉप बफर मेरा
Patrick IQ in the server.
Yep. Still jiggling, still fighting. He's not been touched just yet. He's still on 100 HP. Not sure what exactly they're waiting for. Maybe the recon to come in. Yep, Crystal's probably got it ready. There we go. That's going to send him in, but Venka stops it right in the track. The stun is perfect as well. Global Esports in a bit of a tight spot here. The shock dart's doing so much damage. And this triple stack from OG. Really good stuff. G not even breaks that. Oh, 1 for 1, but Kelly, he finds
damn by damn
he's going to be able to pick it up. No, he's not going to be able to pick it up. It's going
damn
to secure the round. My God. Came a little too close for OG there. Kelly did God's work with that 3K.
Yeah, we call those good damage.
भाई बढ़िया निकाला था वैसे क्लासिक हेडशॉट
Is how okay? Give me this. You know, there must be a percentage, like above which. How many players do you need to get in an eco to call it? It's a good spotting if you don't win it.
I usually feel like 3. I feel like 3 kills, but it kind of depends on the other team's buy, right? Because if they're doing a buy that doesn't have like 5 rifles, then sometimes they can just pick it up and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But on defense, usually teams are buying all the way up, and so if you can kill 3, it's pretty good.
Esports once again pressuring that mid region as OG kind of crawl in towards A main here. They've got Yudo waiting for them. He's got his tripwire set up as well, which he did with 3 right before seeing that shock dart come in. He takes out Helef. A bit of unnecessary push here from the initiator. One more spot. Pink has been given a taste of his own medicine, although he does get 1 kill in that altercation. 4 versus 2. They've got 1 player to fight off on this B side, who is currently sitting in their spawn region. That's going to be Hoax. Only got the Sheriff to play with. It's going to be stunned. And that's the B side taken on by Global Esports.
Yeah, so far pretty nicely around. Don't give up any
यार
guns here.
बाय कर लेना चाहिए था थोड़ा सी ना मार्शल वगैरह मार्शल बहुत भाई 101 हिट
Phantom, and he's known to be A pretty great player in these kind of situations. Could call him
भाई मार्शल आ जाए ना बंदों को शेरिफ की जगह ज्यादा
dire
मजा आ जाएगा भाई सीन में.
Nope, not gonna happen. Kelly is gonna deny him any sort of frags. That's gonna be the first round for Global Esports. Pretty solid round, just a one death on their part from the B main due to Benka. That's gonna be it. As OG now have their full buy coming in.
Yep, Kelly 2 off of ult. Crystal 1 off of ult. Pretty big timing coming up. Benka 1 off of his ult here. Could be a difference maker as well. This map is very, very much about ult management, in my opinion.
Well, early B control, it seems. DCE, he's the only one on that B side. He does have support by Hoax, but Hoax right now more concerned about that mid region. There is a tripwire they're protecting him, and it seems like OG just want to kind of make sure that the mid region is in their control. They're not going to let G slip on any cracks towards that higher mid region. Yudo crawling into space. That drone's going to clear out anything, but Yudo's not yet been spotted. And that's probably going to give him a bit of space to crawl into, maybe find some space to work with, as GE have now taken the spike towards A. What exactly is the plan? OG now going out exploring, and Yudo blocked one in the face, and Kelly S gets the other.
तो picks निकले जी की, let's go.
Have gotten a 3v5 man advantage.
Yeah, it's a nice little default there from GE. Breaks the info tool for Orangutan, prompts them to go looking for information, and then they get punished with some nice shooting from Yudo, and then a good trade from Kelly as well.
Great first kill, could not follow it up though. Yudo, once again, finding what matters the most. That's the trade. He's on 30 HP, lucky to be alive. That shot could have taken him out. OG just have a recon to work with here. As Techno is going to crawl in from market. They're going to clear close corner for him just to kind of enter inside. The flash is good. Forces Hoax off his mark. Techno not going to be using his paranoia. Goes for the smoke deployment at that second. Maybe he missed point, but it's going to be GE's second round. It's a solid one at that too. The 2 good rounds from GE back to back. Going to give them the confidence they need to just keep on pushing this momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now I really like what I'm seeing from GE. They're controlling the tempo of the round, and the discipline that Orangutan had on Haven isn't quite there right now. 2 rounds in a row where they kind of just like walk into contact and give away a free kill.
There's an eco for OG, and we have seen them have a good eco round on Haven. They produce a similar one on Sunset. They split up right now, 2 on B, 3 on A. Only 1 hero vandal available on Hoax, as he is going to be situated on the A side, and that's what they're expecting. But Global Esports right now playing really passive on outside of B. They're just holding on for a push to come in from the B site. But one thing that I have noticed, Hoax, he's putting that shock dart towards that A main side to bring the tripwire. He's actually missed it twice in a row.
Probably a good adaptation for Yudo then.
Like the nurse now.
Gotta be careful of Venka ult. That's one thing I am worried about in this round.
डायमंड बड़ी मस्त लग रहा है भाई. ये डायमंड बड़ी बहुत प्यारा है. जो ये पुराना डायमंड बड़ी ना एकदम एपिसोड 1 का, ये मेरे को भी अच्छा लगता है.
DC playing around in the smoke, hoping somebody crosses in. Not going to be the case. Shockdart's going to give a little bit of chipping damage.
Damage.
As Patrick, he's alone on backside, and he might go exploring here. Venka's pushed in with the ult, but Patrick gets the first big kill there. The trade's perfect.
Okay. And
but Venka's going to trade it off. He's got a Vandal to drop to his teammate, but what they don't know is what's going to kill them, and it's Udo's position. The ult is perfect. Okay,
nice.
Venka, even though
what is that?
Oh, crazy.
Cosmetic stun. Come on now.
It's crazy. Hoax is the only one left. OG.
Oh, ND भाई ND. भाई crazy खेल रहे भाई. ट्रायल देगा तू? किस चीज का ट्रायल? वो टीम का ना. भाई अभी मैं वापस से मॉडल पे हुई नहीं. अभी Ascendant 2 पे है मेरी करंट रैंक।
Deployed for Udo to actually get in the proper kills they needed to secure this round.
That is true, but now Global has 3 ults and Orangutan has none. So, like I said, ult management gonna play.
बहुत टाइम हो गया मेरे को वैलो एकदम अच्छे से सीरियस हो के खेले। फिर बीच में 6 महीने हाँ बीच में 6 महीने छोड़ी भी थी, मेरा पूरा एक्ट खाली खाली गया था।
Where Patrick's gone, he's taking a pretty aggressive control, but he's alone here. He's got no support. Done for the moment. Oaks is gonna throw down the recall.
क्या करना है आजकल भाई? मैं आजकल यही स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ, मोनेटाइजेशन जब खुली फुल टाइम बन गया फिर मैं।
The lightning does not strike twice, it seems, for him. He needed a third hit there. As he goes back once again, this time it connects, and it's gonna probably secure.
कर तो रहा हूँ मैं, वापस इमॉर्टल हिट करने की ट्राई तो करूँगा। 2 ही रैंक दूर है इमॉर्टल, फिर देखते हैं ट्रायल अगर देना मन गया तो दे देंगे। बस एम वापस आ जाए मेरा, वरना आजकल मैं वॉरजोन में जा रहा है, मेरा वॉरजोन में एम चलता है, लेकिन वॉरजोन का इंडिया में सीन नहीं।
We're controlling the pace of the game. Like on Haven, Orangutan was the one that was really kind of dictating what was going on, right? They were taking all the space away from G while the default was going on. They were always
भाई जी इतना अच्छा परफॉर्म कर नहीं रही है।
On this map, so far, GE is controlling everything around, basically. Aside from that pistol and the anti-eco, but, you know, we can throw those ones in the trash.
वॉरजोन में एंटी चीट किसी काम का है? हाँ है, बहुत भाई बैन होते हैं, कम हो चुके हैं भाई बहुत। अब फोर्टनाइट में मेरे को मजा आ रहा है भाई, फोर्टनाइट में जो एमएनएम की गन आई है, आगे लिरिक्स आते हैं भाई, क्रेजी प्यारी गेम है फोर्टनाइट। पिन बात बदनाम है वो बच्चों की गेम के नाम से, वरना तो भाई प्यारी गेम है।
Is he going to be ready for the fight though? Nope. He's just going to spot it, runs away. Cage triggered. And now this is going to cause confusion for OG. Where exactly is this hit coming? Cage triggered. And that confirms.
Great timing from Muto.
भाई जी अभी T2 टीम के साथ इसने सही लिखा है।
I want everybody to remember.
T2 टीम के अगेंस्ट में भाई क्लोज खेल रही है। जी ब्रांडी थोड़ा कर्स्ड है, मतलब जो रूशी ने बोला कि पैसा लगाया है, मतलब रूशी ने जिन बंदों पे उनकी परफॉर्मेंस बाकी टीम में अच्छी रही है, यहाँ आते ही खराब हुई है, मैंने ये चीज़ देखी भी है। तो शायद से टीम की दिक्कत नहीं, टीम के ओनर की दिक्कत है कि बेचारे का लक नहीं है, जिस पे पैसा लगाता है उसका डाउनफॉल चालू हो जाता है। वरना भाई ये कितना प्यारा खेलता है जो इनका नियॉन है, क्लिप्स में तो इतनी प्यारी प्यारी थी भाई रैंक गेम्स की, बट अभी ये क्या कर रहा है, अभी ये डब्ल्यू गेमिंग कर रहा है था। ये अभी तक कॉल पे है डिस्कॉर्ड पे।
Kind of restructure how exactly these upcoming rounds are going to be played, because global esports are kind of pummeling them to the ground here, even with the lurks or
भाई वॉच पार्टी एक्सेस तो दे दिया इन्होंने, थंबनेल नहीं दिया, थंबनेल बोल रहे थे खुद बनाओ, मैंने नहीं कहा थंबनेल उठा के लगा दिया।
I was a little worried that, you know, leaving Patrick alone in, you know, towards the
I think GE want to replicate face of
if at all, you know, OG were
Fnatic so bad। हाँ मतलब लेकिन ये भी है ना, एक तो वैलोरेंट का सीन ही अभी खराब हो रखा है, लाइक एक सारे बंदे एक ही टीम प्ले कर रहे हैं भाई। टेंज ने जो बोली थी ना बात, पर एक बंदे ने चैट में भी लिखा था कि टेंज ने जो बात बोली वो सही है, सीएस की तरह बनते जा रहा है, एक ही मेटा फॉलो कर रहे हैं, नियॉन खेल रहे हैं, ड्यूलिस्ट में छोड़ ही दे भाई, बाकी ड्यूलिस्ट कुछ खेल ही नहीं है, नियॉन आ गया मेटा में तो नियॉन ही नियॉन। सेम टीम भाई, हर मैच सेम टीम, अपोनेंट सेम टीम, मतलब सेम एजेंट्स.
They're just holding on now, hoping for OG to make another mistake, push up another player up front, seeing where Wenka is going to be peeking out from, because he's been doing that for 2-3 rounds.
Yeah, let's see if Global Esports is counting ultimates, because obviously Helf didn't have it coming into the round, and sometimes getting that kill to trigger the ult access is something that teams won't really pay attention to very closely. So hopefully somebody on G has called that out, and otherwise they might be running into a buzzsaw here at A.
मेरे को इनकी मर्च प्यारी लगी, लेकिन जो इन्होंने इस साल की मर्च निकाल ली है ना, अब जर्सी अपनी टीम की अच्छी जर्सी है. रैंक जैसा लगता है ये. हाँ वो भी है, रैंक भी लगता है मेरे को इंडियन मैचेस जितने होते हैं. थ्रो कर रहे हैं भाई, एक ड्यूलिस्ट है टीम में जो बिना चेक करे. वो शेर वाली, हाँ शेर कम, मेरे को वो ज़्यादा लग रहा है वन पीस का लूफी का जो अभी नया वाला गियर आया था ना, जैसे वो बना हुआ, उसका डिज़ाइन बना हुआ. मस्त है इनकी 2025 की जर्सी. भाई एक जर्सी मिल जाए VCD की तरफ से, मतलब जी स्पोर्ट्स की तरफ से मेरे को.
Definitely, GE is sort of winning like the micro decision battle right now. A lot of their plays are tight and like they're not overpeaking.
ये मैच तो चलो डोमिनेट कर रहे हैं, ये मैच की इन्होंने प्रैक्टिस की है.
Really giving OG a lot of opportunities to like make plays, and sometimes that's the game, right? It's like whoever makes less mistakes right now. GE is not.
भाई मस्त लाइनअप है स्मोक का.
Yeah. Once again, they try to do that B main push, maybe punish them on the back of that recon, find somebody off guard. But G were ready for it. They're going to be taken out.
Caution here.
Their players. A lot of bullets being spammed here, making sure they check every corner. But Venka is crawling.
Venka की परफॉर्मेंस बहुत प्यारी भाई. Venka बहुत बढ़िया नियॉन खेलता है भाई. लास्ट मैच जो उसने मारे हैं बंदे.
The tripper has been broken on mid, so that's going to throw them in a bit of a mix on rotation as well. Yudo's is going to keep them busy as he explores A-Link. He's got a tail right behind him. He will get away with the timing here, and DC has to get to minimum to win this round for the team. Not going to be the case. Patrick's going to take him out.
I think GE, DFM, RRQ में किसी एक को निकाल देंगे अगले साल.
Yudo is playing a masterful game right now.
RRQ तो नहीं निकलेगी, शायद से GE निकल सकती, मतलब DFM भी निकल सकती है वैसे तो. RRQ सही खेल सकती है भाई.
Like I said, like OG is playing relatively well.
RRQ की क्योंकि प्रेजेंस है भाई, प्रेजेंस अगर किसी टीम की नहीं देख रही वही निकलेगी. RRQ की प्रेजेंस है.
But yeah, back to Yodaton. It's the pressure he creates by just being alive, breaking those tripwires, putting down a cage, and just making sure that OG feel, okay, you know what, there's somebody on mid, we cannot go there without utility, or somebody peeking out with me. We cannot take the fights one-on-one because he's been that good at making sure that the rotations are scared to go all the way through to the other side.
Yeah, I mean, that's a
जी जब तक स्टॉम्पिंग स्टाइल में नहीं खेलेगी कुछ नहीं होगा. वो तो है ही, वो भाई हर टीम का ही है.
Creating pressure, but it's not so good for the attackers to like actually try and hit a site through most of the time. But you still have to control it.
Yeah. Not away. Smoke's gonna go down. He's gonna.
Damn, why?
Again! But oh my God, Poppy could have gotten that kill. Unfortunately for him, he could have. The trade-off that's coming though. Once again, Techno being taken out by an aftershock. We did see that in the previous map as well. And Venka's already on the flank. He's got a tripwire between him and this.
Venka बढ़िया नियॉन खेलता है पैट्रिक से.
Comes through. He's still holding on.
पेपर एक जैसे घुस-घुस के पेलना पड़ेगा. हाँ वो तो है.
Now G keen on pushing onto his CT. Venka's coming the flank. Crystal ready for it. And he will secure this round mostly for his team. That one kill onto Venka might have just made OG shut down. Followed it up with a double.
Nice. OG का एक रहता है. 1v2.
The advantage. 2v1. Hoax.
आओ एंटी भाई, ये डोमिनेट हो रहा है, ये तो जीत गए. और कौन है जी के इवेंट में? जी के इवेंट में और कौन है, मतलब
Poppy did a wee bit of trolling there, but
ये वाली में और कौन-कौन सी
good
टीम है
recovery.
मतलब
Obviously, the
फाइट
timing
में
from Benka
वो तो
not
शायद
quite
इन्होंने
there,
रिवील नहीं किया है
but Crystal did a nice job coming back and
जैसे
checking on it.
ओरंगटन का आज ही
So,
रिवील
you
किया
know,
था
a
उन्होंने
little bit of a
बाकी
disconnect
टीम्स
here,
हाँ वो रिवील नहीं किए इन्होंने
but yeah, I mean, again, it's not like
वो
OG
मैच डे पे
is
रिवील करने की
playing
बात कर रहे थे
poorly.
ये लोग
They're still, you know,
लेकिन इन्होंने
trying
टॉप
to find
इंडियन
these
टीम्स बोली है तो
opportunities,
पता नहीं
but
ओरंगटन के
like
बाद कौन
the
सी इंडियन
gaps
टीम
are so
होगी
small. Like the
अभी
gaps on
एंटीडोट
cable were
एंटीडोट और वो
there
कौन
for
सी
a
टीम
bit,
में
so
है
they were
एक टीम में वो है
pushing
ना
down,
एंटीडोट और
finding space,
मार्जिल
finding these timings, but
ये दो एक टीम
it
में ना इस
seems
बार
like the game plan from GE
उसमें
is
मेरे
really
दोस्त का एक
tightened
दोस्त
up,
है
and
सिक्स्थ मैन
you know they're not getting caught
कोई तो टीम
in
है
the
वो
open with utility in hand. They're not getting sort of like backstabbed right at the last moment.
आरएनटी होगा शायद
Looks like a
हाँ
PC might
रेवेनेंट
have crashed
रेवेनेंट
actually, or
उसमें
Crystal
मेरे
kicked
दोस्त का
the
एक
board.
दोस्त है
Come on,
सिक्स्थ
Crystal.
मैन है वो अच्छा खेलता है मैंने खेले उसके बाद
He-
कॉम्पी वगैरह अच्छा खेलता है भाई वो बहुत अच्छी जेट खेलता है तो उससे सिक्स मैन
it's
रखा है
those Muay Thai instincts coming out. He got a little mad and kicked the PC. You know, sometimes that happens. It's built into him, right?
Yeah.
Pre-programmed.
You know, I actually wanted to ask: are there any other? You know, you did say you did mention about Crystal. Are there any other
शायद
hobbies that are,
सेकंड मैच उनके साथ होगा
off
कल
the grid kind of for the other players?
उसके बाद कौन सी टीम ही
I
बची इंडिया में टॉप टीम्स
know
है ही कौन
them
कौन सी
that
रेवेनेंट
well at
और
that level, yeah, just because we've mostly interacted.
कॉलेज
on
वालों ने
Discord
डिग्री के लिए नहीं
and
बुलाया
at that
पता नहीं भाई
point,
मेरे को कुछ नहीं मालूम
haven't
मैं
had enough
कॉलेज
time to like hang out with anybody
मेरे को
really.
आज मंडे को कॉलेज जाने को
So
प्रियांश ने बोला था कि
that'll
आइए
be-
भाई कॉलेज में
I
मिलेंगे
think that'll be something
मैं
for
गया
the
ही नहीं भाई
vlogs.
मैं
If
नींद
you
में
haven't already, make sure you subscribe
भाई
to the
मेरा
channel
शेड्यूल बहुत
because
हिला हुआ है
there'll
मैं
be
12 बजे
vlogs where
उठता
you'll
हूँ
get to figure
रात के
out, you know,
3-4
who
बजे
the
सोता
players
हूँ
are. Who are these
Exactly.
guys that are
सुबह
representing
उठता
GE?
हूँ नहाता धोता फिर सीधा
Yep.
स्ट्रीम पे बैठ जाता हूँ
You get a lot of
स्ट्रीम ऑफ
inside
करके फिर
information,
मैं
get to know your players
हिप हॉप
better,
शो
hopefully
देखता हूँ
across the
हसल आजकल
season.
मस्त चल रहा
But
है
for now, they
फिर एनिमे
are
देख लेता हूँ
in
अगर हसल
complete
नहीं है
control, and they know exactly what OG are up to. You know,
कभी
one
कभी
by
मैं घर
one,
के
the
बाहर
small
रहता हूँ
little
आजकल
mistakes that, you know,
कोई
OG
आर्टिस्ट का
are
शो है मैं
making,
आर्टिस्ट के
or
शो में
even
पहुंच जाता हूँ
the
व्लॉग बना दे
proactiveness that they're showing. GE
अभी
have almost
ये
corrected it
मैचेस
instantly in the next round, right?
18 to
When they
24
lose
होने
the
वाले
B,
थे तो 24 को ही मेरा शो था मैंने मेरे को लगा 24 फाइनल को तो मैं स्ट्रीम ही नहीं कर पाऊंगा वॉच पार्टी तो फिर इन्होंने 18 to 23 हो गया मेरे को 18 to 23 के राइट्स मिल गए अब 24 को मैं शो में जा पाऊंगा
capitalizing on information pretty quickly because OG have sometimes been repeating things on multiple rounds, and that's not been going the right way for them.
कुछ मेरे लाइफ भाई कुछ नहीं है कॉलेज के
Yeah, I mean, I think that what you're saying about the proactivity is correct. Like, OG is still trying to be proactive, but
अब
GE
एक तो
is
पापा भी कुछ नहीं बोलते
doing a very
मोनेटाइजेशन
good
अनलॉक
job
हुई ना तो पापा कुछ
responding
बोलते नहीं
like
पहले
actively to
बोलते थे
that proactivity.
कि ना थोड़ा मोनेटाइजेशन अनलॉक हुई तो उन्हें लग रहा है कि
So it's
हाँ
making it
कर
really
लेगा
hard
आगे
because
जाके
this
थोड़ा
is
सी
this is a map and specifically a comp
करनी है भाई
where
गोल्स
it's
गोल
very
सेट
hard not to play aggressive because the map is
Yeah.
pretty tight. It's pretty small, like so you
At
have
least the
to be
rich PC
proactive in
survived.
doing things all the time.
Mhm.
And if you don't have the correct reactions about like,
रेड डी लिख
when
रहा
you
आर
should be
डी
aggressive
वाई
and when you
आर
should
होता है
play
भाई
passive
सिर्फ
and how to like win the
इंडिया में
games
सारे
in
आर
the
लिखते हैं
game,
टेक्नो ने
you
जैसे लिखा
can
ना
get really
या तो
smart
आर या
and
डॉट
kind
आर
of like outmatch, which is sort of
कर
what
ले
we're seeing
सही
right
है
now, where GE just like has that tempo game down really well and OG's kind of playing into their hands a lot.
भाई मेरा मन करता है भाई मेरा मन वैलो
We're back in the
टूर्नामेंट का
game,
मन
ladies and gentlemen.
करता है
Crystal is back.
बहुत
He has restored
बट
his
मेरे पे
PC
टीम नहीं है
as once again that he signed.
मेरे को लेजिट
Oh, okay.
भाई
OG
टीम है
pushing
ही
from
नहीं
mid here. The counter stun is perfect to hold Wenka off. Aftershock as well. Drone gonna be making sure that it spots it first. And now they're just gonna have to fight this together as a 5. Wenka's not connecting anything, but GE
मेरे को टीम
together
चाहिए
will
बस एक
what a
अच्छी
hold
टीम
off. Once again, just sitting in their spawn, waiting for OG to make their movements. And they're absolutely on.
मैं अभी कॉलेज आया में जब सेकंड आया था कॉलेज के टाइम पे मजा आया था भाई लेकिन अब मैं कॉलेज में पार्ट नहीं ले पाऊंगा इस साल क्योंकि कॉलेज ही नहीं है अपने पे हम पास आउट हो गए
I like the proactivity. I like what they had in mind. That stun was really good. But GE, the counter utility that they dropped in elevated was really well timed and well thought out.
Yeah, this has been actually kind of a masterclass from Kelly. He had a bit of a rough map, like fragging wise.
Hello.
I thought his calling was pretty good.
2 minute of
But I mean, he's been a wizard so far. Like every single time that OG's trying to get aggressive, it's the perfect time to call a much more passive round.
Yeah. The vision's there, the ideas are there, the execution's just falling a little short of its distance that it needs to be on. It is 9-2, and we're heading into probably 10-2 territory by the way, you know, everything's going. GE have got two great ults as well. One of them is gonna probably, throw things in an overdrive.
भाई dominate हो रहा है 10-2 हो
They're
रहा है
now
score.
looking to probably execute it themselves. Deep Recon gonna set up Patrick on towards tiles.
पहले मैच में नींद में थी भाई जी.
Everything's alive, but Venka, he's got
थोड़ा सी
in
पेल रही है.
close. They've not spotted him just yet. He's holding a bit of an off angle. Now he gets one,
Oh,
but he's
let's go.
alone. I'm not sure why Hoax didn't choose to peek with him there.
I know exactly where.
The trade potential was almost zero. Hoax was kind of in the
Mid
back.
clear है, mid clear है.
Not ready to
Mid
take him
walk
on
in कर सकते हैं. Mid
at
to
all. That's given GE ample amount of information.
Yeah, we'll take a little neon diff in this round if I'm a GE fan, which I happen to be. So, again, I mean, the rotation is nice.
इसका मैप पिक है. मैप पिक तो इनका है. जी वालों का ये है.
One player who has no
ये जी ने ही पिक किया था Sunset.
Just need to cleanly execute this for a very, very solid and dominant half.
Indeed. Smokes out. They're gonna not expect. I was gonna say Kelly, Patrick to be up this close.
All the way story, all the way story, all the way story.
And that's been spotted by Yurotan. He's seen everything. GE have information about everything right now. As Patrick's been sent on a mission towards CT, just kind of exhaust his ultimate. Does get a
All
chunk
the
of
way,
damage
but
and
headshot area. Let's
not
go.
gonna give out any more, information to OG. Good discipline here to get back on time.
3 बंदे सिटी आ रहे हैं.
This retake from OG could mean everything.
Whiff
for
हो
the
गया,
next
whiff हो गया.
half. They're gonna get 2 here. It's gonna be everything. Poppy gets the trade. Yes, he
Oh,
will.
crazy.
Time is of the essence for OG. It's gonna be Poppy to clutch it out. Does he get the one? He gets the first. Second. Gonna connect.
Oh,
And the third's gonna be there as well. But does he have the round? No,
Good.
he does not.
Yeah, I think. Oh, no. I think he does.
Oh, ha.
Yeah.
9-3 curse भाई, 9-3 curse.
The Poppy round right there. But
भाई
9-3
almost less than 30 HP.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to say it as a caster because it's cliche, but huge pistol coming up for orangutan.
Indeed.
के बाद मैं भी वैलो खेल रहा हूँ भाई. मेन अकाउंट पुश बंद कर गया.
This team in particular more than
2 मैच में
anything
Ascendant
else.
3 हो जाएगा. 5 मैच में
Both
Immortal.
ends of the 9-3 curse. But yeah, we'll find out if that's going to be holding true here. For that, OG really need to win this pistol. And it seems like they're keen on exploiting that towards that A site. For the moment, they've got 3 players and a spike right there. They've left.
यार इसके बाद तो मेरे को देना सोलो सक्स भाई. सोलो भाई मैं सोलो कैरी करता हूँ असेंडेंट लॉबी. आखिर मैं अभी अपना करियर दिखाऊँ ना तेरे को इसके बाद. भाई मैं लेजेंड जो मैच हार रहा होता हूँ उसमें मेरे को 30+ किल करके जिताना पड़ता है. और जो मैच में जीत रहा होता हूँ मैं बस एकदम हो जाता हूँ रेस्ट. हाँ चलो टीम खेल रही है तो उसमें मेरे कुछ अराउंड 20 किल्स रहते हैं. ठीक है. मेरे चैनल की मेंबरशिप ली थी एक बंदे ने. क्रूशियल राउंड क्लच किया था मैंने अपना. हमारा मैच विनिंग पॉइंट था. अगर वो मैच मतलब वो राउंड हारते तो ओवर टाइम जाता. तो मैंने बोला अपने टीममेट को कि भाई अगर मैंने क्लच किया मेंबरशिप लोगे. भाई वो साइफर ने ली मेंबरशिप. शाउट आउट टू साइफर भाई. उसने 89 वाली मेंबरशिप ली मेरे चैनल की जस्ट बिकॉज मैंने क्लच किया. अमीर बंदा भी था भाई. उस पर स्किन वगैरह थी.
It's going to be Patrick taking the first contact, but Yudo, he's hoping DC peeks out. He knows
Unmute कर.
He's one triple tap. Yep, he's going to get the one. Holds it low as well. He gets the second and third. It's all
भाई
confirmed.
जीर मस्त वार्ड लगा रही है.
हाँ देखा भाई. चूतिया कंपनी है भाई एक नंबर की. भाई बैंक स्टेटमेंट देने के बाद बोलते तुम लोग ने बैंक स्टेटमेंट दिया है ना. मेरे को उसका मेल दिखा. मैंने मेल दिखाया तो बोलते फॉरवर्डेड मेल है. तो मैंने बोला अभी क्या करूँ.
Yeah, just
हाँ
really nice
मेरे
control,
बोला
like you
फॉरवर्ड क्या है
said,
भाई दिख रहा है.
by GE.
तो बोलते
That's one of
नहीं.
those situations where if you get a little too ahead of
मेरे को
yourself,
क्या बोल रहा है
you
भाई
give
कि
away
1
one
महीना
kill,
पहले
you
का बैंक
absolutely
स्टेटमेंट
lose
होना
the
चाहिए.
pistol
भाई
and
तुम
the
लोग ने
retake.
मेरे से डॉक्यूमेंट्स
Because like that initial trade of
सितंबर
utility
में मांगे हैं तो मैं
was by
सितंबर
GE,
के
they
तुमको
totally
दूंगा
stopped
ना.
the
अभी
retake
डेट पुरानी हो
initially.
गई. तुम लोग ने मेरे को
But
ऑनबोर्ड नहीं किया तो वो
GE
मेरी
played
क्या
that
गलती भाई.
super,
तू 2
super
महीने के
patiently,
बाद उठ
didn't
के
kind
आएगा
of
तो
get pressured by the spike
एक
timer,
नंबर की चूतिया
and was
कंपनी
able
है.
to kind of like
जिंदगी
pick
में मर
apart the
सकता.
weaker players on OG.
और मेरे को चिल्ला रहा है भाई कि वी आर फॉलोइंग द प्रोसेस ऑफ टीसीएस. मैंने बोला लिसन you guys have selected me on 26th of August and now it's been 3 months. You haven't been onboarded me and you're asking me I'm not following the process.
Playing an up and down system. Gonna take the first. Oh, he spotted one. He spotted
टीसीएस
two.
का मैंने नाम तो बहुत सुना है, मेरे क्लास के बंदे बोलते हैं कि भाई टीसीएस में जॉब लग जाए, टीसीएस में जॉब लग जाए, मजा आ जाए।
क्या कंपनी है भाई, तेरे आंखों के सामने मैं बैठा हूँ, ऑफर लेके बैठ के मैं एक्सेप्ट नहीं करने वाला हूँ इनकी। मैं पता क्या, मेरे को दूसरी जगह मेरा सिलेक्शन हो गया, इनकी गांड ठोकने वाला हूँ। क्यों पता है, क्योंकि मेरे को लात मारूंगी, मेरे को इन लोग ने रुलाया है। मैं इसका ऑफर लेटर एक्सेप्ट करके डेट ऑफ ज्वाइनिंग लेके है ना, उस डेट पे जाऊंगा ही नहीं।
टीसीएस में क्यों करना है इसे, पता नहीं भाई।
उससे बड़ी कंपनी है मेरे हाथ में ऑफर लेटर, तो समझ नहीं रहा।
मेरे को कभी कंपनियों को कुछ समझ नहीं आया भाई, मैं अपना यही
ठीक है ना, मैं भी तेरे 20 साल का, तो मेरे को भी थोड़ी
नहीं मेरे को तो ये था कि बस यही रहा था कॉलेज में कि डिग्री लेनी है, फिर उसके बाद अगर यूट्यूब नहीं हुआ तो पापा के साथ लग जाऊंगा, पापा का काम कर लूंगा।
वो ठीक है, तेरा वैसा है, कोई बात नहीं।
OG in a dire need for a round here, and this is their first buy.
अब मैंने इनको मेल दिखाया, देख भाई ये मेल आया है मेरे पास, तो बोलते हैं भाई कि हमको उनके साइड वाला मेल चाहिए, जो फॉरवर्डेड मेल नहीं।
They set up their players,
अब
but
बता मैं क्या करूं।
is going to make sure that his team stays on
टीसीएस
top.
इज लिटरली मजदूरी 20,000 में तेरे को बोलेंगे चल चेन्नई ऑफिस जा।
नहीं मेरी है अच्छी सैलरी, अच्छी दे रहे हैं सैलरी, नो डाउट। एक्सपीरियंस ढूंढना मैं तो देंगे ना।
नहीं वो वैसे बोल रहा है कैजुअली, इंटर्नशिप वालों में।
हाँ इंटर्नशिप वालों को 20,000 है, वो ठीक है, बट यार ये एक नंबर के भाई हाथ मारने की दिल कर रही। मैं ठोक रहा था इनको फोन पे, तो मेरी गाली नहीं निकली, मैंने बोला ठोक रहा था मैं इनको। ढूंढूं मैं अभी कहाँ से भाई, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। मैंने इसका इस लड़की ने मेरे को हाँ फ्रॉम ये रहा फ्रॉम दिस
भाई यहाँ तो जी ठोक रही है भाई, क्रेजी। मतलब उनके कोच ने सही मैच सेलेक्ट किया था, मालूम था कि जी जीतेगी।
उसने क्या बोला, मैं सारे मैच प्रैक्टिस करने वाला हूँ।
हाँ कंसर्ट में तो ठोक रही है
भाई। Stops off the most important incision point, that's Patrick, and he's the first one they find as make sure no matter who we find in the trade, it's going to be the Neon who we have to kill first, because if he's taken out, the rest of the team kind of slows down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Breach is good on this map for a reason, because the lanes
Push
are
it,
perfect
push
for
it.
stun.
That's perfect.
Oh,
Crystal getting absolutely a free murder, and he gets away with it as well. The number of stuns across that A main allows him to make full use of that Hunter's Fury, and Yudo knows that there's one towards mid as well. I'm pretty sure as soon as this gonna be broken. Yep, there it is. I think that's gonna flash out, slide out. And they're heading in towards A. No, they're just kind of holding on for the moment. Kelly calls out for his team. He's saying that they could be anywhere in spawn. You guys need to check your extremities, but the motion that's actually called out from OG is the fact that G pushed up A main. Yudo's holding the most amazing position. Yudo.
Oh, nice, nice.
Discipline, but it doesn't seem like he's going to need it for any longer. Great stuff there. Venka, the only one who finds a kill from OG this round, is going to have to get away as well. 12-4, and this might just be the end of the first.
Let's go, भाई. जीत गई EG. GE. EG क्यों बोल रहा हूँ मैं? EG तो चाइनीज टीम है।
EG साले अमेरिकन टीम।
अमेरिकन टीम है, चाइनीज नहीं है EG।
EDG है वो।
अच्छा वो EDG है, वो तो EDG है। हाँ। भाई एक तो टीम्स के नेम भाई कंफ्यूजन।
का कुछ भी कंफ्यूजन
नहीं, एक वो भी तो है PRX और फिर एक PPX है।
PRX और DRX है।
DRX।
नहीं तो वॉच पार्टी वाले
Come back here. Oh, that's a good start. Making up the first kill.
भाई जो भी है भाई, बहुत इतनी टीम्स बन चुकी है।
अरे उसके मुंह पे था बंदा।
जीत गए। Breach versus Cypher Differ.
BO3 है।
There goes the new step. This needs to get away. Doesn't even need to fight that anymore. They've got the spike in their hands as well. It's on A main. All they need is for DC to make his moves, make his mistakes. Where does he plan to go? He's got a minute to play with.
2-0 आ दे भाई, 2-0.
All the way from mid and kind of flank him, and that's already been.
भाई जी वाले जर्सी भेज दे भाई हर एक को स्ट्रीमर। भाई क्या प्यारी जर्सी है भाई, मेरे को जर्सी चाहिए भाई ये।
and DC is heading into the same
भाई कोई
direction.
अगर जी का
But
बंदा
he's
मेरी
been
स्ट्रीम
marked,
पे
I believe,
गलती से कनेक्ट होके देख रहा है भाई, प्लीज यार एक जर्सी भेज दो मेरे को, डिस्कॉर्ड पे कांटेक्ट कर दो मेरे को sekirosensei।
shown this map why we picked him.
भाई 1300 की है भाई, महंगी है थोड़ी मेरे लिए।
In the trials,
थोड़ी बाकी कर लेना, इसको हैप्पी को बोलना बैठा है ना इधर।
to make room for Patrick.
हैप्पी को क्या बोलूं?
I mean,
हैप्पी
he's
जो मेरे कॉलेज का दोस्त है।
पैसे दे दे थोड़े।
As I see him get timing here, but I mean, he really is just making a lot of good.
Oh, never.
लेट्स गो भाई, जी जीत गई।
Mind. He gave him too much time. DC gave him too much time to just kind of think, okay, you know what, maybe he might just be on something.
तो यार बीओ
Pixie,
3 था
and that's
यार।
gonna be it.
2-0 हो गया बस भाई, सही है।
2-0 for Global
अभी
Esports as they
तीसरा मैप
finished
दूसरे गेम नहीं होगा, एक ही होगा, एक ही।
हाँ नहीं होगा तीसरा मैप, 2-0 लेट्स
तीसरा
गो।
मैप भी नहीं होगा और दूसरी गेम भी नहीं होगी।
सही है ना, 2 मैप भाई काफी है भाई।
जी क्रिस्टल भाई
Yeah,
देख रहा
just a really clean
है, माँ की
performance
आँख
overall. I mean,
भाई
you can see a ton of the defensive
आईजीएल
side
मार
from
रहा है।
GE, but
वैंका ने इस बार परफॉर्मेंस थोड़ी सी वो कर दी, पहले मैच में मस्त मारा था उन्हें हेवन में, इस मैप पिटा है वो थोड़ा सी।
you know, especially on the attack side, just like reading Kelly's read on the game was really excellent there. It's just like every time that OG was getting aggressive, G was like really far back in spawn, ready for it. We were looking at the ults, we were looking at the money
13-4 भाई।
the play patterns from OG, and I mean,
ये भी
it
बोल
kind
रहे
of helps
TCS
when playing the same
literally
comp, right?
मजदूरी
Like,
बेंच
we understand exactly how this comp works,
पहले
and
का
so
ही
we kind of had a little bit of a
अभी
soul
मैं
lead
यार ये
there
देख मेरे
going
को
on.
मेल तो मिला है 21, इसको यार अभी मैं कैसे करूँ, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा
Really
है।
great pickup. Like I said, from the last map, they're gonna, you know, just kind of ride on the momentum.
मेरे को भी उसका आया था नेस्ले की स्ट्रीम का कि नेस्ले की तुम्हें प्रमोशन करना है, तो एक बार पहले अपने चैनल के स्टैट्स भेज दो, तो मैंने भेज दिए कि भाई 20K वॉचिंग गई थी एवरेज, सब्सक्राइबर बढ़े महीने में कुछ 160 प्लस। अब देखते हैं आगे क्या रिप्लाई आया था।
And he had so much impact on this game.
नेस्ले का क्या है वो?
Uniton's lurks.
नेस्ले कॉफी, वही कॉफी प्रमोशन।
कॉफी का क्या करेंगे? अच्छा कॉफी प्रमोशन तो वो लोग देखो
शायद भेजेंगे, शायद बार्टर करेंगे शायद।
And every single time
पैसे अभी
Kelly
कहाँ?
called that, you know what, OG have done this before, we're gonna hold out here, they're gonna repeat this.
तो यार
They
मैं क्या
made
करूँ,
mistakes
समझ
again and
में नहीं
again.
आ रहा है
OG
अभी।
went out solo, went out in places where their utility could have been used, did not fully put down their foot in places where they could have
भाई
won
कैलियस
fights.
ने दिए 10
And
प्लांट।
Kelly was in the best position to read those out and
सिर्फ
just, you know,
प्लांट ही
make sure
प्लांट
that
दे रहा
his
था।
team knows what they're doing, plays on the back of his util. And Patrick, once again, I feel like he could have, you know,
ऐसा होना चाहिए यार, एक बंदे को प्लांटर का रोल करना चाहिए टीम में।
really well. That was creating
मैं ही
space,
तो करता हूँ
and I'm
अपने
glad about that. I'm happy that, you know, he was able to
मेरे को
make the
साला
space
ले
needed
लेते
for the
बोलते तुम वही करो।
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things, right? Like obviously we've been kind of like
मेरे को अभी भी ट्राई आउट चल रहे वैसे टीम के, क्योंकि इसने बोला था हैप्पी ने ट्राई आउट दे दे। कौन सी टीम का दूंगा ट्राई आउट? किसी टीम का चल रहा है?
रेडिएंट जाना तू यार, तभी तो होएगा, वो मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट ही रेडिएंट है उन लोगों
somebody
की,
that is maybe
500
billed
top
as like the
300।
X factor for the team.
भाई रेडिएंट इतना आसान नहीं है, मेरे को ना घिसनी पड़ेगी गेम, घिसनी लाइक
वहाँ का देख, वहाँ का जो कौन है 100 में अपना एनर्जी का,
हाँ
12 घंटे खेलते हैं, बोल क्या करते को ई-स्पोर्ट्स बनना है 12 घंटे चुप करके खेल।
हाँ वो तो है ही भाई, 12 घंटे में डेली नहीं दे सकता एक वैलो को, क्योंकि मेरा हो जाता माइंड फट।
धीरे करना पड़ेगा ना, धीरे धीरे करना पड़ेगा ना,
क्योंकि मैं अकेले खेलूंगा ना, क्योंकि मेरे को बंदे चाहिए भाई, अकेले नहीं खेलूंगा मैं वैलो अकेले खेलूंगा, बोल रहा हूँ अरे कोई मिलता ही नहीं अच्छी रैंक का प्लेयर।
अरे ये स्ट्रीमर्स जो है उनको ही पकड़ना, उन लोग का भी कंटेंट हो जाएगा, तेरा भी कंटेंट हो जाएगा।
Players do their job, and then obviously the timings, the game sense from Yudo is really good, and Patrick's in there.
मेरे एक बार शायद लास्ट 2023 में, शायद 2023 में, हाँ ये आया था, फाटू आया था उन्होंने दिवाली के टाइम पे, छोटी दिवाली के टाइम पे आया था, उसके अगेंस्ट एस मारा था, और उसकी टीम में सारे स्ट्रीमर थे, मतलब एक और स्ट्रीमर, एक दूसरा स्ट्रीमर, वो भी मेरे दोस्तों में दोस्त। मैंने क्लिप ली थी, हाँ क्लिप ली थी, बट वो मैच हम हार रहे हैं, वो एस मार के मैंने 12-6 किया था, और उसके बाद उन्होंने कमबैक दे दिया, और मेरी टीम एक भी राउंड नहीं निकाल पाई, ना मैं निकाल पाया। मैंने मतलब 2-3 मारा रहा था उसके बाद भी हर राउंड, लेकिन तब भी हारते थे। मेरी टीम थ्रो करने लग गई थी, लड़ाई हो गई थी, तो मैंने वो क्लिप डाली नहीं।
शॉर्ट बना देता था ना।
पड़ा है मेरे पे, क्लिप पड़ी है, दोनों पीसी में पड़ी है, मैंने अभी तक नहीं डाली, आज तक नहीं डाली। क्या डालनी, छोड़।
more games coming up in the next 5 days,
ये
ladies and
लोग
gentlemen. A lot of opponents coming in and a lot of Valorant to be watched, of course.
क्योंकि भाई वो पता है बोल भी रहते, फाटू ने लेजिट स्ट्रीम पे बोला था कि सामने वाली टीम स्ट्रीम स्नाइप करी, जबकि मेरे को मालूम ही नहीं भाई। फाटू उसने मेरे लिए पता है मेरे एस मारते उन्होंने वो डाल दिया डिले, बोला कि ये जेट स्ट्रीम स्नाइप कर रहा है। भाई मेरे को मालूम ही नहीं मेरे सामने फाटू खेल रहा है, मेरे सामने कौन खेल रहा है। मैं जब मैच खेल तो मैं कुछ नहीं देखता भाई, मैं इंडियन स्ट्रीमर देखता ही नहीं। मैंने फाटू उस टाइम में सब्सक्राइब ही नहीं कर रखा था। स्ट्रीम स्नाइप दूर की बात है।
Hello, Yuratan. How are you doing?
어때 기분 어떠시냐고 물어봤는데.
첫 맵에서
We can't hear you, bro.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
करता अब जरा भाई स्ट्रीम एंड कर देता मैं। चलो भाई।
Feel good. Yeah, feel good today. Yeah.
Feel good, play good, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you. Tell me, how was this second game for you? How do you feel while playing the game? How was the game?
It's kind of easy for me because our team doing very well. So I just doing my job.
All right. I mean, you were really good on that Cypher on attack. Can you tell me what changed from map 1 to map 2? What was the big difference? You guys had 13-11 and now 13-4. What was the big difference in map 1, map 2?
I think it's I don't know. I feel like it's same confident. It's my IGL just doing great job.
Were you nervous at all, Yudo, going to game 1? Do you have any nerves?
Yeah, kind of nervous.
I mean,
Yudo,